Toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking, American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They free. General Flynn out the cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone, cause the world know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell
面白いことにせよか。ほら、こんなにパチンが多すぎて。
お父さん、
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ？
アメリカ、万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランド、トライドだね。
ゼロ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ？一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてるね。この世界、季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった。大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコを掴んでいいさ。そう。見放せるで。
Are you serious?
Did you read all the subtitles to
I
that?
was trying to. Yeah, my buddy from Maine had sent that to me a couple of weeks ago. I was dying.
I loved it, man. Especially at the end, he was like, you know, they'll let you do if you're famous. Yeah. And they'll let you do it too.
Oh my God. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I got the giggles tonight. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh. Well, hello, everyone, and sorry for the late start. I told Ruby I would take the blame for the late start this evening. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off the last 30 minutes, trying to get everything ready. I think I came in on the stage like 4 times and the volume wasn't working, and just a bunch of other stuff I was trying to get done. So, but here we are. We don't know what we're going to do tonight, but we'll see how it goes.
No, I know we say that a lot. Like, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I seriously don't know what we're going to talk about because I haven't been on the internet in about a week because I've been studying for my exam, which is my special announcement to everybody. I got hired virtually to sell insurance, and they gave and what a coincidence that Papa Q is in the same industry. So I called Jimmy up and I'm like, is this legit? I'm scared. You know, what should I do this? And we had a great conversation. And I said, you know what? I'm going to dive both my feet into this and see how well I can do. Put my my JW skills and do insurance. So I've been studying for this exam to get the license. And in the state of Florida, you need 60 hours in this pre-licensing course online, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it took me like 5-6 days just to get up to I'm up to like 48 hours now. Yeah. I'm like, how long they want me to be on the computer all day and all night? Like, I got 3 kids.
Wow. I didn't realize Florida, you had to have 60 hours. That's crazy.
60, 60, because the people in the company were like, oh, you might need 40, after that you can get your test. And I'm like, okay, I could do that, 3-4 days, 10 hours straight, like study, take the quizzes, and I'll be straight. But nope, in the state of Florida, you need 60 to get your license and then to start selling. So it's actually life insurance, Jane, and everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
So it's
life and health.
life. Yep, it's life and health that I have to get together for 60. If I just do life, it'll be 40. But
Well, I'm
I
gonna
was
tell
like,
you, if the company that hired you is not panning out for you, you just let me know, and I'll hook you up with the Aflac people in Florida.
what? That's correct.
Yeah, I know some people down there. So, but that's
Look at
really cool.
that.
The insurance business is pretty awesome. So,
Yeah, I mean, I've heard. Yeah.
and we were built for this. We were groomed to be salespeople.
That's true. That I was a little robot since I was a little girl, but it was for a religion. If I could just turn that over into something working for myself,
Yeah.
I could excel.
Well, I'll just let you know, John, XJW Analyzer, he works for West Shore Homes, that bathroom modeling company. And he was doing cars, but he got out of the cars and then went to work with West Shore Homes, and he's killing it right now.
Nice.
So for the XJWs out there, if you are having a hard time finding a job or finding something that's satisfying to you, sales is a great place to be. So it's worked out for me.
Right, exactly. Because I was thinking I need something that I can do from home. Check that first box. Then I need to do something that I know I'm good at. I don't stop talking. Like we could be here for 4 hours. People already know us. You know what I'm saying? Like I can talk, I can persuade. If I get the right, if all the stars align, I think I can sell the right policy to the right person.
The biggest advice I'll give you real quick is when you are closing someone, learn to shut up when you And I'm gonna tell you this because my very first week in the insurance business, I had to ride and watch the guy for 2 days. We swapped presentations on the third day, and the fourth day I went in to make a sale. Well, while I was doing that, I did make the sale that fourth day. But while I was asking closing questions, I asked the closing question, and then I said something else, and then I got kicked underneath the table. My district manager kicked me underneath the table.
What?
And so after the sale was done, and I said, "Why the hell did you kick me under the table?" He said, "Jimmy," he says, "if you're going to do this, you need to learn to ask the closing question and then shut up. Because the rule is the first one that talks loses." So even if you ask a closing question and there's like this awkward pause of 20, 30 seconds, you let that be. You let that happen. So just a piece of advice from a seasoned insurance agent.
Nice. Look at that, man. Getting some gems on live. And you know what? I did a post on like an XJW thing on Facebook, and somebody responded to me like, "Oh yeah, I know that company. I was working with them for like a month, and then I switched. I became independent, and I make more money." And I was like, "Oh, word! Like, let me find out. Like, I want to be independent. I want to do like work for myself, type of thing." So I was really excited about that. And so shameless plug. If anybody needs life insurance, you already know. If you're in the state of Florida, send me an email because that's exactly what I want to do. I want to have like my own people that I sell to. I don't want to be calling strangers, but that's just me. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you do end up ever going with Aflac, I have a company that has employees down there in Florida that I'll need to have somebody see for me. So if you ever do, let me know.
Yes. Okay. Definitely. Wow. Jimmy came in clutch. Everybody in the chat came in clutch. I've been talking to my cousin. I'm like, bro, I think you need to look into this. Get your license. Do this. Do that. So it's really turning some wheels for us that we actually get to do something for ourselves.
Yes.
Later in life. Like not all is gone. You can still succeed in life.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
All right, everybody. So everybody's in the chat. I hope the gang is here. You guys had at least 10 minutes to enter the chat, guys. Enter the chat right now so I know you're here. John Marciano, of course. Rosie, JG. We got a governing body troll in the chat. But these are nice trolls, at least. At least these are nice trolls. Leonard, Doreen, illegal immigrant, Tony. Hey guys. Joseph. Who else? Jane. Hi, Jane. Okay, I'm scrolling. Let's see who else. JG. Oh, I like this comment. He says, Ruby, you have a lot of natural talents. You should consider heading to university. I thought about that. You're young and you have a long life ahead of you. Yep. I believe that.
Only pushback I'll put back on that is I put a post out. It was a clip from George and Mandy's first marriage. And in the clip, they were having like a meat lover's pizza that night. And the wife goes, oh, what did we do? Did we win some money or whatever? And the guy talked about, he made a sale. He's got a big commission check coming. And then later in the scene, he said, hey, we need to go out to eat night to celebrate my commission check. And she got all upset because she's like, well, I went to college and I should be making more money than you, but I'm not. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about it? So we got into the discussion that even though people go to college, it doesn't mean that they're going to be financially successful in the future.
Right.
So, I mean, I didn't go to college, and I, at times, make more money than my wife, who is an RN, who went to college and has been a nurse for 30 years. And so far this year, I'm beating her in financials. So, so I understand why people would say go to university, but hey, you don't have to. You can make as much money, if not more. And honestly, sales is aside from entertainment, sports, and all that, sales is the number one career financially that you can have in the United States.
Right. And you can make you can make as much as you put into it. Like
exactly.
It's uncapped. And I rather do 60 hours than 2 or 4 years in a college where I have to do a 9 to 5 and go to work and miss the time with my family or whatever. I'm trying to create that, like I homeschool, work for myself. My husband works for himself. It's like we all want our own schedules and to capitalize as much money as you can make with the least amount of time. Like we need to get out of that 9 to 5 mentality.
Yeah. I mean, like my managers get upset at me because, I go out, I do what I have to do. I make my money. But do you know how many hours I actually work a week?
A week? How much?
Like 20 to 30, if that.
Right. Not bad.
If that. And I make good money. So, hey, and thank goodness, well, in the insurance business, you get residual income, you get renewals. So when you build that, you got these I still get paid on a company that I haven't sold a policy for 20 years. They still pay me because those people still have their policies. So
and that's one of the perks of getting into this type of industry, is that even if you leave, you'll still get paid for that as long as the policy is alive.
Yep. It's awesome. I love it. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I mean, if it's with this company or another company, at least it's something. Because once you have your license, you can do whatever you want. So I'm glad that I even got the opportunity, the discount, the training that I've been doing with them. It's great. So far, so good.
Yep.
Okay, guys. So like I said before, oh, hi, Ricky. Oh, happy 420 to all the smokers in the chat. Tony, Ricky, Bobby, and Jimmy. Happy 420 to all of you guys. And for the rest of us, happy Easter. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't even know that Easter was like even happening, because at the church, we call it Pascha. So I've been saying Pascha, and people be like, happy Easter. I'm like, Easter? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, duh, that's the same thing. Are you retarded? So yeah, happy Easter to everybody. I don't know if you guys celebrate. I mean, I don't. I mean, if it's not with the church, I don't really celebrate, secularly. So, I don't know if you guys do, but I just don't. Eric says 420 all day, every day. Yeah, Tony called me and she says, "Oh, we gotta celebrate. You know what's happening tomorrow?" I said, "What is April 20th?" She was like, "Yeah, duh." And it took me like 5 minutes just to get it. I was like, "Bro, I'm sorry. I've been studying for so long. I don't even know what's happening in the real world. But if you ask me anything about insurance, I could tell you."
Yeah, and actually, 420 will not fall on Easter Sunday again for another 65 years.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I mean, only you would know that. Only like somebody would like you guys would know that because I don't even smoke like that. Like I rarely do stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do it. Like it gets me a little sick after a while. Like ugh.
Well, it's not bad. It's great. Hey, I'm just thankful. I mean, I'm getting ready to be 52 here in a couple of weeks, and knock on some wood, I'm not on any prescription drugs. I don't have any health issues. I'm energetic. I don't go to the doctor I don't have to go to the doctor for anything except for this. I got into some poison ivy or poison oak
What?
over the week. Oh my God, my whole arm, all this is covered in poison oak and stuff. And so, yeah, so I've got right now. I've been using a combination of things: calamine lotion, Vicks Vapor Rub, and a homemade remedy that Chris has made that I put on at nighttime to keep the itching down. But yeah, that's why my arm is bandaged up tonight.
Yeah, but how do you even get that? Like what the
Oh,
heck?
I've got I got all this yard work out here, and so I was clearing some brush off here off of section 1. Stuff that had grown up. And normally when I go out to do that type of yard work, I wear another hoodie that would cover my arms. Well, this time I didn't even think about it. And then like 2 days later, the crap started popping up all over my arm. So
Ooh.
yeah, it's a little annoying.
Oh, okay. So Eric knows. He said he bought this stuff at the store and it instantly cured it. Oops. Damn, I was just about to say put the link.
Yeah. Yeah,
He doesn't remember the brand. Dang, Eric.
Yeah, so but it's good. It's going on. It's not as itchy as it was, so it's healing. Usually it takes about 2 weeks for the blisters and everything to go away. Usually. So
Oh, wow. Oof. I hope you get better soon. Ooh.
Oh, it will. It'll be fine. I ain't stressing it.
Okay. So this was a Easter that I just saw on X. I'll play the clip.
Speaking of special, Easter is special, and it's one of our favorite days. It's one of our favorite periods of time. We're honoring Jesus Christ, and we're going to honor Jesus Christ very powerfully throughout our lives, all throughout our lives, not just now, all throughout our lives. We're bringing religion back in America. We're bringing a lot of things back, but religion is coming back to America. That's why you see the kind of numbers that you're seeing, the spirit and the kind of numbers that you're seeing. So speaking of special, Easter is special, and it's one of our.
All right. So it's just playing over and over. But that's what Trump said in that little clip. I didn't see if he said anything else, but I thought it was nice that he said it's coming back. Like
yeah, there's 2 things that I noticed in that clip. If you look at the clip, look at the rabbit.
Yeah.
The rabbit is not a white rabbit like it has been for decades.
Oh, good one, Jimmy. I didn't even see that.
The rabbit is not white. And you go back to every other president, even Trump in his first term. I think the rabbit was white during his term. But yeah, the rabbit is not white. That's a huge comm right there. That's huge. The other thing is, everybody says, "Oh, you guys shill for Trump." Well, I disagree. I appreciate him saying, what he did about Jesus and faith and all that. But for me, when it comes to religion, I think it's a divisive controlling mechanism. That's just my opinion. So, but it's nice to have a president mention that because, go back to some of the, foundations we had in at the beginning of this country. So Christian values. That's open for a whole nother debate. So, but anyway, so that's what I took away from that.
It is, but we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's one of the only things that I might slightly disagree with. But I do know that the majority of our audience feels exactly as you just said. But I look at it as the upside of it is something that brings people together. Because, America is not tribal like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all come from different backgrounds, different cultures. So we're not really going to have that through race or through maybe class might be one. But when religion comes in, that for me is just like everybody of the same faith is like, yes, brother and sister in Christ, or whatever.
Right.
Which can become a very strong movement, like a very strong group of people.
I don't have a problem with, faith as faith as it is. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You can worship whatever you want to worship. That should be the freedom of religion to do that. But when it comes to the fact that you got so many religions out there that are using their platform to control people, that's where the problem is.
I mean, the government does the exact same thing.
Well, exactly.
So,
I mean, that goes back into the whole me making the connection that Watchtower is just like the deep state globalist. They run the same playbook. They run the same playbook. So,
yep. I did star 2 comments before we head into the lightning round of news. Let's see. Hold on, let me fix this right here. Okay. So Jane said she heard about the AG Pam Bondi head task force on Christians being treated wrong or unfair. I haven't heard anything about that, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I was sent a message, and I can't access it now, or I'll lose you guys. But I was sent a message about 35 minutes before we came on the air from one of my Facebook friends talking about that situation, and basically saying that the Justice Department is going after some religions because they are violating people's constitutional rights. And after she gave me the full paragraph, I wish I could go ahead and get that, but I don't want to take the chance of losing the volume. But she says, Jimmy, I really do think that your Operation Spotlight letters are reaching the White House. So, so I don't know. I hope that is the case, but yeah, that is a situation going on right now.
Okay, interesting. I didn't hear nothing about that. I haven't been on the internet in about 5 days, so that's interesting. And then really quickly, Doreen says we should talk about that MS-13 guy. How stupid his wife is. They asked her, "Didn't you have a restraining order on him?" And I did see that there was like a headline saying that she did have that on him because allegedly he was abusive.
Oh yeah, that's in court documents.
Okay, but like they said in the clip that we played last Tuesday, Pam Bondi already confirmed that he was an illegal, that he indeed is an illegal.
Yeah. It's in court documents. He is illegal, 100%. He is a member of MS-13. If you look, this was another thing I noticed too. There was a picture, Trump put out a picture of the dude's hand. Okay. And on his knuckles, it had MS-13.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So the wife put up a picture of her and him, and she blurred out his hand. So you could not see the tattoo of MS-13. All right. Then there's another caveat to this. Remember when Pete Hegseth was going through his confirmation hearings and the left went crazy about his tattoos?
Oh, yes.
Where are they now with this guy's tattoo?
Good one.
They ain't saying shit.
Okay, well, I think there is a difference because the tattoos with Pete, they blew that all over the internet and the news. I have not seen the tattoo of this guy.
That's what I'm saying. That's the contradiction. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to see it. It's a double standard.
Right. I mean, And why don't we see it? You know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, why don't we have these crucial pieces of information?
Well, it's
that
very
would-
it's very easy to explain that. The Democratic Party, their constituents are not American people. They are the illegal immigrants, the rapists, the murderers. That's who they are. And how do we know? Okay, so tell me how many Democrats went out to Maui when Maui was burnt down? How many Democrats went to Western North Carolina?
Mhm.
None. How many Democrats went out to, what was the other place? Where they had in Ohio, where they had the train accident and everything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know,
And the fire too in California.
there's the other one, the fire in California as well. But they didn't travel out to those places. They decided to go down to El Salvador and try to get that guy to come back, or try to get him back to the United States.
Yeah, that's crazy. In my opinion, I don't understand their game and the game. Like, I don't understand what they. No, sorry.
So it's for the people to say, oh well, he's due process. No, the F he's not. He is not. He's not a citizen.
Exactly. That's for citizens.
And here's the other thing when it comes to the whole citizens and the due process stuff. Joe Biden let over 9 million, and it's probably even higher than that, but 9 million illegals to come into our country. No vetting, no due process, no nothing. Just come on in. All right. So now, and then when they were given, a court date to show up, they just ignored it. But see, now Trump wants to deport these people. But now the left and the rogue activist judges are saying, oh, no, they need to have their day in court. Well, how are you going to give a day in court to freaking 9 million people? That would take like 150, 200 years if you look at the numbers. Because they're only being able to deport right now 150,000 people a month. And why do they need to be in court when they violated the law? You should be able to just round them up and send them on back.
Right.
But that's not what the activist judges and the Democrats, that's not what they want. They want to, they want to slow walk these deportations, hoping that they can get back into office and these people are still here, and then that those people will vote for them. That's what it's all about.
Yep. That's exactly what it's about. And that's such a disgrace. Like, how much they've fallen is disgraceful. Okay, so that was interesting. And we did touch on this last week, I believe, about the NASA and the space shuttle that that went up. So I'm just gonna play this clip that I saw on X.
Okay, that was good.
That
was good. I hadn't seen that one yet. That was good.
When I saw that, I was on the floor because I was thinking of all of you guys, of that we've always had these conversations of how fake it is, how gay it is. I mean, once again, celebrities out of touch, kissing the floor, like it bothers me. It's like I wish I believe in it, and this is what makes me. It proves to me how fake it is.
Oh yeah, it's the memes have been writing themselves over the past week, or ever since that damn stunt took off. I mean, there's so many things wrong with that. If you don't realize that was all fake BS, you are lost. Straight up. Because, I mean, hell, the rocket looks like a daggone vibrator.
Yep.
I mean, and other things that we talked about. You know what? After we played that last week about, hey, what is that in the sky? That's a big Johnson or what? I saw it like every day after we played it. I saw it every day on X. Somebody else was posting that same clip. Yeah. But yeah, this is all BS, every bit. But it's nice to know that the Democrats know what a woman is now.
I can't keep up anymore.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's just a waste. It's not even politics anymore. Like I used to love when the TV used to come on, and I didn't know it back then, but CNN or like the news, and people were getting really involved in political when the war was going on, right? Like a 20-year war, like my whole life.
Right.
It's actually serious back then. You didn't see stuff like this where they're just joking around and doing like stunts.
I honestly think, and this is going to be open to debate for some people, but I honestly think that a lot of this stuff that is taking place that just looks ludicrous and crazy, and we can't believe that they're doing it. I think it's actually being done on purpose.
Yeah.
Because it has to be so out of this world and so ridiculous so that some people will wake up.
I know you say that.
Yeah.
I know you say that, but I don't know.
I mean, we have tried. I know as a digital soldier, I have tried to be pragmatic. I've tried to show articles. I've tried to, give you good information so that, people can start asking questions and look things up. But then you got those out there that still believe COVID was real.
Right.
And you're going to have to put something out there that's just going to be freaking crazy enough to finally get those people's attention.
All right.
That's my opinion. My opinion.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to hop right into the news blast. And I think one of the biggest news out there is that the Pope died. And I got to say, man, this was the first time that I said, you know what? I actually believe what Jimmy's. I think he was dead a long time ago. And that's when my gears started like speculating that this guy didn't die just today or yesterday. I think he's been dead, and they waited until after Easter because that's one of the biggest holidays in Christendom. They waited after Easter to announce the death, but he's probably been dead. That's as much as I can say that I believe personally.
Well, when you go back and you look at videos where they used holograms on the Pope, I don't know if I sent you anything in our messages about that. Maybe you can look and see if I did. But he was dead a while. This is something that the deep state does. They'll have one of their main players actually die, and they won't tell the public until they can benefit from it. They did it with Ruth. They did it with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And
that was another one. Yeah, how can you confirm that though? You know what I'm saying? It's like we will never know, right?
I don't think we will unless there's some type of major disclosure about that. But there's so much that needs to be disclosed. There's so much that needs to come out in disclosure. That was just one other thing we would need to know.
Right. And then I like this thing you sent me of your Facebook post.
Oh, yeah. So all right. So I did send that to you, but I did find out later. Okay, go ahead and read because I was in the moment. I was happy on 420. So you can go ahead and read it, and then I'll explain what I found out later about it.
All right. So you sent me this screenshot of your Facebook post. It says, how did Facebook know I was referring to the Pope? I just did a search in my post for things I have said about the Pope in past posts. My comment earlier today does not have the word Pope in it and no names, but it still came up. WTF? Did Facebook algorithm just confirm my post from earlier today? Interesting to say the least. And then the bottom part says, there is one less pedophile on this planet today. Yeah.
So I did put that out. And when I read it or when I searched in the beginning, I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. But I had one of my friends sent me a message and she said, Jimmy, sometime, Facebook algorithm will go into the comments. And if there's a reference to the Pope in the comments or whatever, it's going to show up in your search. And see, I didn't know that. I thought they would just, whatever's the words that are in your post. but the
Mhm.
algorithm goes into the comment section too. So that kind of took a little air out of my bubble, but that's okay.
At
But
least
it
you
was
know that.
funny. It was funny.
Yeah. I mean, people keep saying that. Like, I think somebody said it here in the chat right now. Yeah, Doreen, she said, good riddance, another pedophile gone.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to feel about that because it bothers me that we can't actually prove that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem saying that when it comes to CSA with the JWs, right? Because they have a court case, they've been arrested. You know, like people like my uncle have a case, and I feel comfortable using that word. As
Right.
strong as it is, I'm comfortable with that because they have at least been suspected or they've been convicted. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
there's actual like proof for that suspicion or for that crime. Whereas the Pope, where do you get that from and
Okay.
why?
So the same thing can be said, what you just presented for the cases against Watchtower, can be said for the Catholic Church and the Pope.
Mhm.
One, there's several things. One, look at the history of the red shoes. The Pope wears
I've
red.
seen
Okay,
that.
so there's that.
Mhm.
We've also have evidence of child trafficking sex rings being ran out of the Vatican. And so who's in control of the Vatican? That would be the Pope. There's all these Catholic priests, all these folks that have been involved in CSA.
Mhm.
So if we're going to, as XJWs, hold Watchtower accountable and say it's the way they do things, it's the atmosphere that they're allowing this to happen.
Right,
Let Samuel Hurd, those guys, they may not be pedophiles, may not be, but what
Okay.
they are allowing to happen in their organization should go back on, and that's what we say, we should go back to them. So you can run that same case for the Pope.
And when that did happen, they did acknowledge it and they did give settlements to those families that have been affected, and the Pope did address it. So where do you move on from there?
Well, that's where you do a little bit more digging on the conspiracy side of things
Mhm.
and look at everything that the Pope has been involved in. I mean, we know that particular Pope was all for pushing a woke ideology.
Okay, I would agree with that.
So
Okay.
it's not far fetched to think that if he would have still been around, 10, 15 years from now, it would have got to a point to where he would have been promoting pedophilia as, it's just normal.
Okay, that was the gap that I was missing because I don't know what it is with me, like how it is when you describe John, like he's very analytical, right? I
Right.
kind of feel like that too. It's like I need something
That's fair.
concrete, I need paperwork, I need a trail that would at least lead to that suspicion. But I can't just say something like that because to me, that word is very powerful. And I don't
I,
just say
I, get,
that word for anything, you know?
I get it. I get it. But
Yeah.
for those of us that have been down these rabbit holes on the Pope and all this stuff, oh yeah, my statement that I put out on Facebook, I stand by it 100%. The dude
Right.
was the dude. We have one less pedophile on this planet.
Okay, so if you have anything any rabbit holes, definitely send it to me because I
Okay.
want to go down those. I've touched the surface, like you said, with the red shoes, and I've seen that painting and the conspiracies behind it, and stuff like that. But I haven't gone down the Catholic rabbit hole,
Yeah.
the Vatican rabbit hole. I haven't done that one yet.
Well, remember what three entities have been running everything? Or what three entities are the heads of the deep state? You
Hmm.
had Saudi Arabia, which was that was financing things. Then you had the Vatican, and then you had England or London. But if you want to do it, the three states, now Saudi Arabia wasn't involved in the three states, but they were involved financially. But the three states are the city states: Washington D.C., the Vatican, and the city of London. Those are your three hubs of the deep state.
Okay, so do you think that they've been infiltrated like they did with the government then? Is it something similar?
Yeah,
Or are
I
they
mean,
actually the origins of
go. I tell you what, go to my. I hadn't watched the whole thing, but go to my Twitter feed,
Mhm.
and what we're talking about right now, this will fall in line with that. I think it's just a recent post. I think it had let's see, Jordan Maxwell in it. Let's see.
All right, so this is your page. Oh, did you change your banner again?
No, it's been the same for a while.
Really? Or maybe
Yeah.
I'm just noticing now. Silent No More, The Great Awakening.
Yeah, it's been there for a little bit.
Because you had a lion there before, right?
Yeah, I did.
I'm not tripping. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I usually try to change about once every 2 weeks or so, but I haven't done it in a while. Okay. All right. So we'll play that in a second.
Okay.
But scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Play that one.
No. Okay, let's watch this.
I don't even know how long it is.
It's about a minute.
Okay.
All the top Nazis were given Vatican passports and given safe passage and money through the Vatican banks. Money was given to all the top Nazis to get them out. So the Vatican sent a bunch of Nazis to Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil, Argentina. We know they're down there. Well, it's all Catholic down there. That's right. That's why they're down there. Catholic Church is involved in Israel. They're involved in the Holocaust. The scientists and the theoreticians, they sent directly through the CIA, which is the Knights of Malta organization for the Catholic Church. Catholic Church is CIA. The CIA broke into the Watergate Hotel. Watergate Hotel is owned by the Vatican. The owners of the Watergate Hotel today in Washington, D.C. is owned by the Catholic Church. The Vatican owns the Watergate. And the CIA was in there doing their dirty work in the Watergate Hotel. And then they got Nixon kicked out of office because Nixon realized that the Vatican is involved in all this crap. So the Vatican set up their own people. Send the CIA into our hotel. We'll take care of it.
There you go.
There you go. That's literally the answer to my question. That's where I was trying to get at. So now I understand.
Now go ahead and play the other one that had the costumes, because that's like it's a ritual that they do at the Vatican. I think it's pre-funeral ceremonies. And just look at the symbolism.
Well, I am gonna read the context at the bottom. It says this video has nothing to do with the Pope's funeral, which incidentally has not taken place yet. It depicts a Spanish Eastertide celebration. Canonical hoods are a centuries-old tradition. And I do know a little bit about that because the Orthodox, they do the same thing. I mean, I don't think they do the whole full,
It just looks really creepy to me.
I think that's Spain. That's how Spain Catholics, it's traditional for them to do it, because I have heard of that before. And I do think it is the Easter celebration type of stuff, because a lot of people in the Orthodox communities talk about like how beautiful Latin mass is, or Spain and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I do know a little bit about that.
It just looked really creepy to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's because we've never seen that, or you know what I'm saying? It's not a part of our culture, nor is it a part of our religious culture either. Because we're American, so we we don't have that. So we're gonna be like, yo, what the heck is that? But that, you see the hoods? I think somebody said it over here too. Jane, like the KKK, which is another connection, that the KKK got the inspiration from the Catholics for the hood.
I could see that.
Right. And they probably were Catholic. So who knows? I mean,
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I would believe that without even, with nothing, I would believe it.
You have seen the auditorium of the Vatican, right?
No,
No?
no.
Do a quick search on pictures of the auditorium of the Vatican.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my keyboard.
Sorry. I say this because Carissa mentioned it today to a coworker today, and I've seen the pictures before. We've talked about it in 2020 and 20, but maybe there's folks that haven't seen it.
Okay, of the Vatican. Inside pictures of the auditorium. Oh, snap. Okay, yep.
So you have seen it.
Yeah, I just didn't know what it was. Okay, now I
Yeah.
know what it is. How do I? Okay. There you go. It looks like a serpent. It looks like a snake.
Totally. Blow up one of the pictures so folks can see it.
All right. Let's see.
Look at there, folks.
All
What does
right,
that look like to y'all?
All right. I mean,
Hey, as an XJW, if you're going to talk about the symbolism of the Denmark Convention Center or Convention Hall or whatever, if you're going to say something about that, you got to say the same thing about that picture right there.
and I won't deny that. I will definitely agree with you that, yeah, Dallas says it looks like a cobra. Yeah, it looks like a snake, a cobra. Illegal says I see eyes. But from that angle, it would look like that, right? I mean, do you
Right, so-
any other angle?
So now look at the I think it's the, do a search on throne the Pope sits on.
Throne of the
Let's see if
Pope?
that comes up.
Let's see. The chair of St. Peter?
I guess. Yeah, maybe that's the case.
Wow. Okay, let me share. Okay, wait a second. Sorry. I'm looking at this by myself. Hold on. Okay, can you see? Is that it?
Blow one of the pictures up. Let me see. It's supposed to be like a state. It's not exactly what I was looking for. There's another picture. There's something else. It looks like branches and stuff, and then there's a background. There's a background, a backdrop to it.
Oh.
It looks. It's another creepy looking thing.
This is not it? The white one?
I don't see it.
With like those archangels on the side of it?
Oh, wait. That one, go back to your right. To your right. That one. So that one where your cursor's at.
This one?
Okay. Slide over to the left a little bit.
Left?
To that one. Try that one.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Whoa, what is that?
Look that up, folks.
Is that Jesus on the top?
I don't know if it's supposed to be Jesus or not, but that's kind of creepy. And that's at the Vatican.
What?
Remember,
What?
they hide everything in plain sight. So go do some digging on that picture. Find out about it.
Whoa, that's
you take that along with the picture of the snake in the auditorium, and you start building a picture there.
That's creepy, bro. That is creepy. I'm sorry, that is creepy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask my priest because he just posted a picture on Facebook of him and Pope Francis together, and my heart kind of dropped, and I said, "Whoa, what the?" And I mean, it doesn't bother me on just like maybe a superficial level, right? You meet the Pope, I wouldn't doubt it. He's a priest,
right?
They're Orthodox and Catholics are very, very like that, like. But it bothers me a little bit, so I am going to respectfully ask him.
But if you go down the rabbit hole that Jordan Maxwell is talking about there, that the Catholic Church was involved in World War II and the Holocaust stuff. You know, that's a whole other subject there. But anyway, the Catholic Church, the Pope, was heavily involved with the beginnings of World War II.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that.
Heavily involved.
But even in like what you call those years, like medieval times, the Pope has always been involved in huge wars and huge monarchies.
So what's that tell you?
I mean, it is political. I mean, the religion and politics, that's what I used to say all the time. It goes very hand in hand. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Right.
But it does cause a lot of conflict of interests when they have the power to uprise a monarchy or bring down a monarchy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were probably heavily involved in assassinations and, you know, huge stuff like that.
Yep.
But I mean, who are we to say or do anything? That has been in an institution for thousands of years. You know, like, I don't know.
There was another post I put up. I think I sent it to our big picture thread, and it was just a post about two globalist figures falling on the same day. It referenced the Pope and it referenced Klaus Schwab because he resigned. That went into, so you lost two. The deep state lost two of their main players in one day.
I mean, when you put it like that, is it this from Alex Jones? He says, "Learn why Klaus Schwab's sudden exit from the World Economic Forum signals."
No, it was on our big picture thread.
Yeah, that was there. You posted that.
Did I post that?
Yeah. Oh no, you didn't post that. It was somebody else.
I was gonna say, because I don't post much. I don't post much of Alex Jones stuff. Only reason why is I don't want people going, "Oh, he's posting Alex Jones stuff. Look, he's just a crazy conspiracy theorist like him." So I try to stay away from Alex Jones stuff. But there was, I think it was just a simple post.
I'm scrolling in here and I don't see anything yet.
Oh, I didn't even see you scrolling on the side over there. It would have been like in the last day or two.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of posts here. Okay, you posted something about Antarctica. You posted a Facebook post.
Maybe it was the Facebook post. Maybe.
I haven't been here in a while, so
yeah. Maybe. I don't. If it's not, I'll tell you, and we can stop it.
Yeah, this is about KFC. You posted.
No, yeah. That's a whole different thing right there. But anyway, yeah. So that's a whole. I don't know where it's at on there. I think it's actually on my Facebook page too. So.
Okay, so.
It is on my Facebook page. I know that.
Fighter of Truth says in the chat, the Catholic Church was heavily involved with Hitler. They wanted to eliminate the Jewish people. I'm gonna have to look into that because I have not seen connections of the Catholic Church with Hitler. But that video clip said that they did.
She's right. She's absolutely correct.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because there was constant communication between the Pope and the German regime before World War II.
Yeah, but how do you know whether or not that was good or bad? You see what I'm saying? Like, they have always been involved in big things like that, though.
Well, the documentary that I watched showed all these different letters, and they had proof of everything that was being said. It was that documentary, Europe of the Last Battle. It's like 10 different videos. And it took me 3 days to get through the whole documentary because there's just so much information.
I'm gonna have to get that, and I'm gonna have to watch that. It's very interesting.
I can send it to you, but it gives a whole nother narrative about World War II, and I do believe it would be right up your alley considering what we've talked about, considering World War II.
Okay, so yep, I need to watch that. Definitely.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get through it.
All right, guys, I'm going to let Jimmy start his news hour. Sorry, we spent like an hour talking about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what we do, apparently.
Yeah.
We always say we don't know what we're going to talk about, but then it starts, we can thank the audience, and for those that have been watching the show for a while and have been loyal viewers, we thank you so very much. We really do appreciate it. You guys are the reason why we, come out here every week and do this. So thank you so much. And thank you for putting comments and questions in the chat, because it keeps the show going. So we really appreciate the participation. And so just want to say thank you.
Yes, awesome. I second everything Jimmy just said.
All right. Well, let's go. Do we have the trailer for the news blast?
Mira me, yo, who am I? Oh my gosh, bro. Like, what is wrong with me?
You gotta play the intro.
God. And we're live with Jimmy Bell coming out of North Carolina with the News Blast Hour. Go ahead, Jimmy. What have you had for us today?
Well, good evening, everybody. And we're here to report the news that has been breaking across the country and the world for the past week. This is information that you will not see on the mainstream media. And if you do, they're probably lying to you about it anyway. So, all right. Hey, real quick, before I go into this, can somebody do a quick search and tell me what the Braves are doing against the Cardinals? The Braves were winning 4-2 in the fourth inning before we started. Can somebody give me an update, a score update, please? I would appreciate it. All right, let's go in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody that'll know the score. All right, so let's go back to Monday, April 14th. This is what we have for Monday, April 14th. And if you hear anything that you want to comment on or ask questions about before we move to the next day, put it in the chat. Steve Witkoff details compelling meeting with Putin. U.S. Army plans to dramatically accelerate the Abrams tank modernization. Suspected U.S. airstrikes kill at least 7 people in Yemen. El Salvador's president says he won't return deported man to the U.S.
Yep, we saw that clip.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, FDA warns about fake Ozempic in the U.S. supply chain. Now, I do want to comment on this real quick because Ozempic is not a very good drug to be taking.
Right.
So
I mean, I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you are taking Ozempic, I understand it may be helping you lose weight and things like that, and you may be speaking highly, but this stuff right here is toxic. And I'm going to tell you, when I was doing an open enrollment presentation for one of my companies in December, they had their major medical person go first and to explain the major medical stuff. Well, one thing that she said on the prescription drug things, she said that there were 2 drugs that Blue Cross Blue Shield would not be covering in 2025. And one of those drugs was Ozempic.
Well, why though? I mean, do they have the power to do that?
Oh yeah, the insurance company, yeah, they can, the insurance company can choose whether to cover it or not.
So if you cover somebody's life, right, life insurance, and they died because of COVID, they have the authority to say, oh, well, if you died suddenly from
No, it's different. It's different because it's different than life insurance, because major medical is designed to, pay the doctors and hospitals for whatever services you receive. Plus, there's also prescription drug benefits where you can go get a prescription drug for like $4 and the insurance company will pick up the rest. So what I'm saying is this insurance company has decided they're not going to cover Ozempic prescriptions.
Wow. So if you need that medication, you're going to have to just pay out of pocket for it.
Well, if you're dealing with that company that I've been referencing to, then yes. Now, there may be some insurance companies that are still covering that prescription cost. So, but bottom line is it's bad for you. Look up the side effect. I mean, it's bad.
Right.
So I've got one of my stepdaughters. Unfortunately, she's taking it right now. And I can't say anything to her because of her political persuasions, but I'm just like, man, I really wish she would just quit taking that because it's not good for her. But
right.
so
Yeah.
anyway,
Do you want to know the score? So
yes,
Okay. So a minute ago, Fighter of Truth said Cardinals 10, Bravo 4, bottom of the night.
damn it. Okay, all right. Thank you for the update. I appreciate it. That ends our winning streak. Okay, thank you. All right.
All right.
Damn it. So okay, that's
Bottom of the ninth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anything about sports. Sorry.
Yeah. We were up 4-2 when we came on live. So it looks like the bullpen blew it. Anyway, okay. Moving on. U.S. stocks close higher amid Trump tariff exemptions for electronics. We talked about that last week. Polling shows growing number of Republicans identify with the MAGA movement. So we have a lot of people who were, we talked about that before, that there's two different things going on in the Republican Party. You have the old guard, which is your rhinos, your hardcore Republicans that pretty much side with the Dems on everything. And then you have the ones that are actually America First. So more Republicans are moving to the America First side of things, which is that's good.
Yep.
Harvard won't comply with demands from the Trump administration. Yeah, we'll get into more about that. Trump administration announces freeze in $2.2 billion for Harvard. Harvard's going to FAFO is what Harvard is going to do. Okay. Bukele says Trump has 350 million Americans to liberate by ending crime. So for those who don't know who Bukele is, that is the president of El Salvador. And basically he's saying that Trump has 350 million Americans to liberate by ending crime. I can't disagree with that. It's true. Keystone Pipeline restarted. Ooh. Keystone Pipeline restarted after oil spill in rural North Dakota. Earthquake shakes San Diego area. Meta's speaking of the San Diego, did you see what the elephants did when that earthquake hit?
No.
It's actually kind of cool. Do a quick search on X. Elephants reaction at zoo. It's kind of cool.
Where was the earthquake?
It was in San Diego.
San Diego. I don't think I'm seeing anything.
This was really cool. I would play this.
Oh, wow.
What they did, and maybe read the caption or whatever so people can understand what they're watching. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Okay, so this was posted on April 14th. It says, I was sent this video from the San Diego Zoo today after today's 5.2 earthquake. It shows African elephants doing a behavior known as an alert circle meant to protect the young and the entire herd from threats.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. It's like a natural instinct, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
And the baby's in the middle, right? Like
exactly
in the circle.
Exactly.
Wow.
So nature cares more about protecting their youth than some humans. The animal kingdom is more concerned about protecting their young versus some humans. Let me rephrase that. So anyway, I just thought that was a really cool video. And the let's see, Meta's antitrust trial. That's coming up. And then the Blue Origin, which we've talked about already, launches an all-female celebrity crew. Like I said, this was Monday of last week. So any thoughts on Monday from the live chat?
Let's see. Thrifty just entered the chat. Hi, Thrifty. JG says, yeah, their instinct is to protect each other, unconditional love. Faded says, standard defensive position, very common if there's a pride nearby, which
Yep.
is really nice to see that they're doing that even if they're not in the wild. So, I have like a love-hate relationship with the zoo because I I don't want to sound like a liberal, but like they should be free. The animals should be free, and we shouldn't be caging them up like that. I don't know. It just feels weird that. Never mind. Let's move on.
Yeah, because that'll open up. That'll open up.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No discussion there. All right, so let's move into Tuesday, April 15th. Biden gives first major speech of Trump presidency. Did anybody see that?
No, I told you I haven't been on the internet for like 5 days.
I didn't even know he gave a speech.
Mm-mm.
I didn't even know this. I didn't even hear about it. Okay. Trump signs executive action to lower drug prices.
Mm-hmm.
Autism rates rise to 1 in 31 children in the U.S., the CDC reports.
Yeah.
That is horrible, folks.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get into the weeds on that because of the strike we have on the channel. But look at what's causing autism. I mean, just look at the numbers. Go back to the 60s. Look at the numbers. Follow it through the 70s, 80s, and until now, and notice the rise in autism, and notice the contributing coincidence involved. I'll just say that.
Right.
Man arrested outside the United Healthcare campus in Minnesota. Mr. Beast fans seek refunds after Las Vegas event. I don't even know what that was about. Police tased 2 demonstrators at the Marjorie Taylor Greene's town hall. Suspect in shooting at Dallas High School is in custody. Doge associate is made acting head of foreign assistance at the State Department. U.S. stocks closed down slightly. Gold keeps climbing. CDC weighing in to universal COVID vaccine recommendations, or they're weighing an into it, not weighing in, not IN, but the CDC weighing END to the universal COVID vaccine recommendations. So they know their goose is cooked on that. And new body camera video released from inside Gene Hackman's home. They are still talking about that situation.
Yep.
So, all right, that was Tuesday. Excuse me. Let me get some coffee.
So that's what you drink? Coffee?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's coffee. I have coffee at night. I can drink a cup of coffee, and everybody's like, "You drink coffee at night?" I drink coffee all the time.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, sometimes you drink coffee at night, but
yeah, I mean, I drink coffee every night. But you ask my wife, if I lay down in bed, I can be out in 30 seconds.
Oh wow!
It's like a superpower I have. I can literally lay down. I can sit in this chair, let it get quiet, and I can be asleep. And it drives my wife crazy. So she's like, "I don't know how you do that." Well, when I was born, when I was a baby, my dad and mom, we're talking about in the 70s, my dad and mom were on bowling leagues 4 nights out of the week. So they would actually take me to the bowling alley, set up my playpen, and I would sleep during the leagues at the bowling alley.
Wow.
So, yeah, the people were like, "How is that kid sleeping?" It's all loud in here. If you've ever been to a bowling alley during league time, you know, it's kind of loud. So my wife, she's like, if we ever get broken into, she's like, we're dead because you're not going to know. You're going to be sleeping and we're not going to know. So, yeah.
Wow. So
Anyway.
really quickly, Shaq in the chat says, "Can you play the Biden speech? It's probably only a few minutes. I did find like a 30-second clip though, if you wanna play
I
it."
didn't even hear about it, so yeah, let's see what he had to say.
Okay, let's see, because there's a lot of little clips. The first
I
one
don't
that
even
popped
I
up,
don't even know why he came out to talk.
it says, Joe Biden is spending his first speech since leaving office saying he didn't have to grow up around black people. Quote, "I remember watching a bus go by. It was full of colored kids. I had never seen those." What the heck?
Oh my God.
What?
Wow.
I'd never seen hardly any black people in Scranton at the time when I was only going in 4th grade. And I remember.
Wow, that's
Wait.
super low. Hold on, let me see if I can find another one.
Wait a sec.
What the heck? Why are all these clips like bootleg? Let me see.
Gate to get in. So if I don't finish this, they can't come in. So maybe if you're hanging around, I'm going to sneak back out if that's okay. All right. Thank you.
Wow,
thank
he
you,
looks so
thank you.
different.
But that's a
None of
July
that
that's a
fantasy
July
stuff.
4th celebration. What is that?
Also serve who only stand and wait. remember when
Ah,
our son
okay.
was
But somebody
deployed, my
posted that
wife would-
April 19th, so that's weird. See? Okay, I think this is the speech, this one.
Simple dignity. It's about dignity. Simple dignity. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity, regardless of their standing, regardless of the economic situation, regardless of who they are. Making sure that more than 60 million Americans who are living with disabilities are treated with dignity is who we are as Americans.
What?
You know the only thing I noticed on that?
What?
Look at the flags. The flags do not have the yellow trim.
Oh, I remember you said. What does that mean again? I remember you mentioned that.
All right, so and I didn't do the research I needed to do on this so we could talk about it. But
Sorry, go ahead.
the yellow fringed flag means that the country was being ran by the maritime law, the maritime law of the sea, the deep state. That was their sign. But the flag doesn't have that now, so that's very interesting. Meaning that flag right there is of the republic and not the corporation.
Okay, and is that the real Biden?
I don't. No. Biden's gone. Biden's been gone for a while.
Yeah, I know you believe that.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd see any more of Biden, but hey, I kind of missed the guy. He was really great for comedic purposes.
Oh my
So-
God, hell no. I am like PTSD with these people. I can't. I was stressed for 4 years under Biden.
All right, let's go into Wednesday. We got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is what we have. Ukraine, U.S. makes substantial progress on minerals deal. Former cyber official targeted by Trump, Chris Krebs, quits company. I don't even know what company that was. California sues to stop Trump from imposing sweeping tariffs. Well, of course, California did that. Gold hits record high. I think it's last I saw was like 3,400 an ounce, which is really good. Puerto Rico hit by island-wide blackout. I did see that. I did see something on that. China appoints new trade negotiator. UK's top court rules legal definition of women based on biological sex. Interesting.
That was in England, right?
Yeah, UK's top court rules legal definition of women based on biological sex. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw that, and I don't know, because we've had problems with the UK before, like, them arresting people over a joke, over a meme,
Right.
but then they come out with such a W like this, and they make a ruling about the biological women. So I'm like, they are either hot or cold when it comes to certain things. You could never find a middle ground with them. So I don't know. It is good though. It is good.
Yeah, at least that's good. I of course I do believe there's more going on and the reason why all that takes place, but we're not going there tonight or at this
All
moment.
right. Go ahead.
Zoom
Go ahead.
Zoom outage affects 50,000 users, disrupting business communications.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that here lately, and I think they're trying to build the narrative for a cyber attack. That's what my opinion is on that. Hong Kong Postal Service halts U.S. shipments in tariff retaliation. U.S. sues Maine over its transgender athlete executive order. So remember that clip where we saw Trump and the governor of Maine, and she said, "I'll see you in court." And he said, "I look forward to it." Yeah, so that is taking place. Explosion destroys Northrop Grumman building on remote rocket ranch. I have no clue what that is. Mother of murdered Maryland woman Rachel Moran joins White House briefing. Third top Pentagon aide Colin Carroll on administrative leave over leaks probe. And Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg wraps up testimony in antitrust case. That was Wednesday of last week.
Okay.
Any comments from folks?
One from Jesse Gonzalez. He says $20 says Jimmy cried when the Pope died.
You still owe me $20, Jesse. Wait, hold on. Is that a new bet? Is that $20 more?
I think so. I think this is a new bet.
So you lost. So now you owe me 40. Is that correct? Anyway.
Jane says Michigan had 2 weeks no electric because of ice storm in March 2025.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. Okay.
They had a horrible ice storm up there. Carissa actually sent me some pictures of stuff, what was going on up there. And that was bad. It was bad ice storms. All right, Thursday, April 17th. Trump suggests he can remove Fed Chair Powell. Yes, he can. American citizen hijacked small plane in Belize and 3 people were injured. Maryland Senator Van Hollen meets with Abigail Garcia in El Salvador. Good for you, you little dick. Anyway. I can't stand that dude. He creeps me out. Pope Francis, visits prison inmates on Holy Thursday. Tesla whistleblower wins latest legal battle in fight against Musk. Florida State University shooting, 2 dead, 6 injured. 20-year-old suspect is in custody. FSU shooter identified, used sheriff deputy mom's weapon in killing. Wow.
You said Florida?
Yeah, FSU.
Yeah, I recently, and then there was a guy that said that he was also in the shooting in Parkland, I think it was, and then he goes to college and now he's in another shooting. Like, damn, wrong place at the wrong time again. You get caught in a shooting. I don't know. Maybe it's time to homeschool. I don't know.
Luigi Mangione indicted on federal charges in death of United Healthcare CEO.
There you go. Yep.
Michigan reports first confirmed measles outbreak since 2019. Sean Diddy Combs asked judge to exclude Casey video from trial. Why, Diddy? Why do you not want the Casey video to show? Gabbard declassifies Biden counterterrorism strategy. U.S. deploys anti-ship missiles near Taiwan in the Luzon Strait. There's a lot of activity going on around Taiwan right now. We'll see what happens there. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't think China's that stupid. You know, like I don't think they would go any.
Let's just say
Yeah.
let's just say if it does happen, if something does pop off, it will not surprise me at all. But if something doesn't pop off for some reason, it's not going to surprise me either, because people have to remember that this is an information war, and information war is being mobilized by using game theory. If you don't know what game theory is, look it up. So
Okay.
it could go either way.
So, Thrifty, when we were talking about the Pope here, Thrifty says, at least JD Vance got to the Vatican in time to kiss the ring. Now, I don't know about that. Did he visit the Pope before he died?
Oh, yeah, he actually did. He did visit the Pope the night before he died. So there were a bunch of memes the next day saying, who did you want JD Vance to visit next? And it had him next to Nancy Pelosi or Hillary.
Yeah, look at this one.
What does it say?
So this is Vance. And he says, President Xi, I think we should meet. And then he's looking at the TV like Pope died after meeting with JD.
Oh, yeah.
With VP Vance.
There was a lot of that.
Okay. So when did he die? 2 days ago?
Sunday night? Easter night?
Okay. So okay. So then, yeah, I was kind of right, because I was like, they waited until after Easter.
Yeah.
To give the announcement, because they know that's one of the biggest ones in with Christians. And then Jesse says to ask you if Vance whacked the Pope.
No, because the Pope's been dead a long time ago. So
yeah, I think he was. I mean, the first announcement that they made that he was sick, that for me translated into he died.
There was a video, a news reporter. I think I put that on my X feed, that they actually admitted on the news that he was dead, and this was like 4 years ago.
No way.
Yes, it was on my. I think it's on my X feed.
Do you remember when he posted it?
It had to be in the last 2 days.
Last 2 days. Okay, I'll look for it in the meantime.
Yeah, you look for it while I do Friday. All right.
Yep.
Friday, April 18th. Trump says U.S. will pass on Ukraine peace talks if no progress is made soon. So, yeah, that's a whole tit for tat on that thing.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, did you? Well, go and play it.
Yeah, that was really quick. You posted it very recently.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Pope's festive address focused on his prayers for the pandemic to come to an end. He said vaccines should be made available to those most in need. His death was announced.
What?
A what?
What? No.
Yeah.
No way. Because was she reading from a script or like a teleprompter?
Yes. She was reading from the teleprompter.
And that's what it said. It made it.
Yeah.
No.
How many times has the media done that?
Yeah.
They've done that a lot with a lot of things.
Yeah.
They've had articles come out an hour before. I think 9/11. There were articles in the UK that came out before the thing actually happened.
Yeah, and even on the news too. It was a slip. It was a slip that the building fell when it didn't fall yet. It's like, how did you know that the building fell?
Or when they say, it was on the news. There was a guy talking about John McCain, and he was saying that, how do you have it? After John McCain's death or something like that. But he admit, and it was a slip up. He shouldn't have said what he said, but he validated everything we thought about John McCain, that he was taken out because he's a traitor to the country. So he was an evil dude.
I don't know much about that. So you know what? In a future stream, we need to do a little bit of backtracking about that, because I was too young for that.
Yeah. Let's just say that John McCain had his hand in 2014 in the Ukraine situation.
Okay.
Yeah. John McCain was not a good dude. He was not a hero like he was portrayed. All right. Deadly U.S. airstrike on Yemeni oil port. Trump administration replaces. God, this was funny. Trump administration replaces COVID website, takes down COVID signage. Yeah, if you go to covid.gov, it says stuff
Let's do
way
it.
different than it did 4 years ago. Yeah,
Gov.
covid.gov. Yeah.
Okay. So, it's the White House website?
It's government. Yeah. Look at that lab leak.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up because I was like, I need to show everybody this on live. So it says lab leak, true origins of COVID-19. Okay. Let's see. Number 1, the virus possesses a biological characteristic that is not found in nature. 2, data shows that all C19 cases stem from a single introduction into humans. This runs contrary to previous pandemics where there were multiple spillover events. 3, Wuhan is home to China's foremost SARS research lab, which has a history of conducting gain-of-function research, gene altering, and organism supercharging at inadequate biosafety levels. 4, Wuhan Institute. Okay, so let me just go down. Oh, you could even download it, huh?
Yep. So for all those people that say, "Oh, I need proof that COVID was not real," well, you conspiracy theory. There you go. COVID.gov.
Wow. And that's why. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's why they wanted to take the auto signature off for the pardon, right? Because they want to go after Fauci.
That's one part of it. Yeah.
Okay. But wasn't the Wuhan also a place in Ukraine that it wasn't actually China?
There's different cities. There's different cities in Ukraine that have the last part of their name is CHYNA.
Right.
There's several. So you've got 31, which has been proven to be true. That there was 31 biological labs in the Ukraine that were being funded by the U.S. government.
Okay.
Or hold on, let's rephrase that: funded by the U.S. taxpayers.
Right.
And so it could have started there and then went to Wuhan, because we do know that technically, if you take it back to the very, very beginning, it started here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, with the gain of function. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. So,
but isn't that illegal?
100%.
Yeah. Like, why are they doing that?
Depopulation control. Look how easy it was for them to shut everything down and scare people into taking something that was not good for them.
Man. Yeah.
And people are still defending it today.
Yeah. It's horrible. Yeah.
So anyway. All right. So that's if you haven't seen that website, go check it out. Yeah. Trump is replacing the acting IRS commissioner. Judge denies Sean Diddy Combs' request for a 2-month trial delay. Good. USS Nimitz carrier strike group arrives in Guam. I don't know what the distance is between Guam and Taiwan, but it's in that same Pacific area. PM Modi speaks to Elon Musk. Trump appoints Fox News host Mark Levin to Homeland Security Advisory Council. I don't like Mark Levin personally. And Harvey Weinstein moved out of Rikers to Bellevue Hospital. And that is your news blast from last week, minus the weekend. He didn't have the weekend up yet. So there's the news blast.
Okay, nice. How long do you think that Diddy thing is going to take, actually?
I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to, from what I'm understanding, it's supposed to start in May.
Okay. 2025, right? This year?
Yeah, it's supposed to start in May. And I don't know if it's going to be televised. It's going to be interesting if they televise it. I don't know.
They
Yeah.
should. They should
Yeah,
definitely.
it may be. We'll see. We'll see what's going to be planned for that. But yeah. So there's a lot
Mhm.
happening. There's a lot of disclosure. There's a lot of information coming out to back up a lot of things that us conspiracy theorists said back in 2021. All that information is coming out, and it's out there. You can find it. You can find the true information.
Right. Okay, well, if anybody wants to join, the link should be there in the chat. I pinned it to the top. I also did like a little goal, like YouTube has like a super chat goal of like 2 hours. I mean, $2 for the next 3 hours if anybody wants to participate in the super chat. That's kind of cool feature. And yeah, click the link if you want to join us. I do have a video that I have been wanting to play. And it has to do with the whole Hollywood conspiracy and the perversions. And I do believe in it. So I just want to see. Oh, go ahead. What?
I was going to say before we go down. Oh, crap.
What? Oh, no. Okay, because I was just about to play that video. Anyways, we'll wait for Jimmy to come back on. I hope that his phone is okay. I hope it didn't die. But yeah, if you guys want to join me, hit that link. Let's see. Lisa says, my understanding is because it's a federal case, it will not be televised. Oh, okay. Good point. Good point. But I mean, I wish that they would. Okay, Jimmy is back. Okay,
Sorry
Jimmy,
about that. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button.
No.
I was trying to look at the chat, and then I hit the wrong button, and then I lost you.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're back.
I was saying, are you going to like introduce the conspiracy side of the show? And you got the
what is wrong with me tonight?
Gotta keep you on track tonight.
Yo, for real, I've been out of the game for a couple of days that I totally forgot. So that's why I got you here, Jimmy. That's why I got you. You're like the perfect co-host. Thank you so much, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, you had to be here live to see it because I didn't change the music yet. So I already know that YouTube is going to trim this out as soon as the video is done. I haven't had time to edit. Jesse says, hope Ruby doesn't visit Vance. Conspiracy time.
Yes.
Thrifty says gonna get wild in here. Oh, yes. I have a wild video. But I'll leave that one for a little later.
Yeah, there's a couple that I've sent you in the DMs and in our DM in the DMs on X that I said this would be interesting to play tonight. Or yeah, there were several that we could just play, and if we run out of something to talk about, we can go there and play those because there's some really good ones there.
Okay, I do like this screenshot that you sent me, so I could probably share this first as well.
Okay.
You sent me this. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you said, it says, yes, the governor of Michigan used to work for George Soros. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, is Nancy Pelosi's nephew. You see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
When somebody mentioned that. Yes, Adam Schiff's sister is married to George Soros's son. Didn't know that either. The next one says, yes, John Kerry's daughter is married to Mullah's son in Iran.
The mullah. The mullah.
Mullah? Who's that?
It's called the mullah. It's like, if I'm correct, it is the highest religious leader in Iran.
Wow. What?
Yeah. If I'm correct.
Okay. The next one says, yes, Hillary's daughter, Chelsea, is married to George Soros. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yes. ABC News executive producer Ian Cameron is married to Susan Rice, Obama's former national security advisor. What?
Yep.
See, Okay, now my head is hurting. Like,
And you're not even halfway through it.
oh my gosh. It says CBS President David Rhodes is the brother of Ben Rhodes, Obama's deputy national security advisor for strategic communications. Isn't that a conflict of interest? Like, why is this still allowed?
100% is a conflict of interest. This is how they've been able to keep control for so long.
Yeah, this is no good. Like,
This
this
is
is
why
too
this stuff is
obvious.
this is why this stuff is being exposed.
ABC News, ABC News, ABC President, CNN President. Like, all these people who work for the media is either married into each other's families, married to this one, married to that one, brothers and sisters of people. Let me see. This is what you call a stacked deck. If you had a hunch the news system was somewhat rigged and you couldn't put your finger on it, this might help you solve the puzzle. That's problematic. Like, what? I don't.
Which falls in line with some of the Q posts, where in the Q post it said, "Watch the wives," meaning that any of these politicians that are always front and center, what are their wives involved in? Because what happens a lot of times, they will create a shell company, like Biden had like 18 of them. They will create a shell company and use the wife's name as the head of the shell company, and then the money gets funneled in there.
Right.
So yeah, you got to watch what the wives are doing too.
Wow. But if we do something like that, we're going to jail for fraud.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm... All right. And then you sent a post that says, "Are you paying attention? April showers." Okay. That's what you want to watch it. Let's watch it.
Sure, let's go. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but
in the last 24 hours, two pillars of global influence have fallen. Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, and Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, gone. Just like that. No speculation, no spin, just fact. One resigned.
Okay, pause just really quickly. What does Jesuit mean again?
Oh, that's a whole nother rabbit hole there, dear.
Okay, so put a pin on that, and I want to learn about that. I've heard it many times, and I don't know really what it is.
It's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Okay, remember that, guys. Remember, we gotta talk about this on another stream, or whenever somebody has enough information, let me know in the chat.
One passed. Both considered architects of the modern globalist agenda. Both gone in a day. You won't see headlines connecting these two events. The mainstream will call it coincidence, but people are watching. People are feeling the shift. And let's be clear, this wasn't expected. Back in May of 2024, Klaus Schwab said he would remain at the helm of the WEF until at least 2027. He was adamant. The transition must be gradual, he said, and yet, just months later, he's gone, abruptly, quietly. These aren't just resignations or deaths. These are symbols of an era that may be ending, an era defined by control, centralization, ideology masked as inevitability. Globalism demands that nations surrender their independence to a global authority, political, financial, even spiritual. It asks you to trade we the people for they, the elite. That's not progress. That's the antithesis of the American experiment. Because the Declaration of Independence wasn't a suggestion, it was a rejection of exactly this kind of power structure. Sovereignty, freedom, self-rule. That's what's on the line. So what's happening here? Are the globalist foundations being dismantled? Is someone, some force, moving pieces off the board? We don't pretend to know the full picture, but we know this. Power doesn't give up without a reason. And when power does shift, it rarely does so with headlines. It happens in silence, in symbolism, in perfect timing. Watch closely, because the world just changed, and most people haven't even noticed yet.
Yep.
Okay, so is this change good?
Yeah.
Okay, I was kind of like assuming that. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was another video that could play. Go to my Facebook page, because we could play this video to back up the one we just saw. Go to my Facebook page, and there's one on Jordan Clark. It's about 3 minutes long, but it kind of backs up everything that was just said.
Oh, and really quickly, JG answered in the chat. He said the Catholic Church is composed of orders: Jesuits, Franciscans, Dominicans, and Poor Clares, etc. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing.
Okay, so here goes Jimmy's Facebook page.
And let me see. Not that
Oh,
one.
whoa, what the heck?
Yeah, not that one.
Okay, got
There's
that.
that. What's the title not say? Right there.
This one says, United we win, divided we fall. Where we go one,
Play
we
that.
go all.
I think, is that 3 minutes?
Let's see.
You know, there's a lot of things I could put right here.
It doesn't tell me how many minutes it is.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and play that one. I think it's it.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, there's so much information coming out. We knew this. Guys, we've been prepared for this. We talked about this. We talked about how April timeline, Easter timeline. Trump made a video a long time ago, wanted it all done, whatever can be done by Easter. Today's the 21st. Now, that depends on what calendar you're going by, because if you go to the Q board, there's actually 5 calendars, Gregorian, etc. So all I know is this. 45-47 was a military operation. The last 4 years was simply designed to wake people up, to show you what this criminal cabal system wanted to do. Did you see it? Think back to the last 4 years. 4 years. How much revelation have you had? I mean, the list is literally undescribable. It could go forever. Trump allowed you to see the evil that we've been put under for a very long time. Now, how far back does this go? Personally, the Q operation for me goes back 60 plus years. Most people watching this, you're born into the Q operation. So when you sit back and you understand 45-47 is not the president terms, it's 45, 46, and 47. President Trump has been your commander in chief. So now let's think military ops. Well, we're in a psychological war, we're in a spiritual war, but we're in an informational war. So what is Trump exposing and taking out? The criminal syndicate, the cabal, the deep state, the Illuminati, the Crown, Mossad, Zionist, Khazarian, fake Jews. This goes back thousands of years. Never forget what Q said. Israel for last. Why do you think Israel is last? The fake state of Israel over there in Palestine. Why do you think that's last? That was created by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the people that enslaved us with Washington, D.C. and the Federal Reserve. Are you connecting the dots yet? Okay, well, how about the Vatican? The Vatican's had so much gold. They stole our gold a long time ago. Thankfully, in 2017, Trump got the gold back with over 650 plus military flights. And when you think about that, you think about how the Vatican has that pine cone outside, right? The pine cone represents the pineal gland. Oh, so the pine cone is the largest pine cone statue outside the Vatican, pretty much telling you that we control your subconscious. We want to control you. We want to make sure that we control you so you cannot connect to the source. This is a huge war between good and evil. So as we look at the coming days, April showers, A week to remember. Boom, 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 boom. We're in the third week. Third boom. The World Economic Forum, United Nations, all those agencies that have controlled the world are now being disrupted and dismantled. Klaus Schwab is gone after 55 years. That's the guy all you liberals and everyone out there pushing the end of times should be going after. Klaus Schwab is the one who wanted to pretty much control everyone with their 2030 agenda.
Yep. Yep.
Not Trump, not the Q operation, not Elon Musk. So if you take a step back and you just realize it's real simple. We have been controlled by a slave system, the Federal Reserve System. The Federal Reserve System was created by the Rothschilds, the bankers, the elite bankers, the 13 families. They control the world banks.
Mm-hmm.
Those world banks, well, they control every aspect of money, slavery, financial slavery. So now we have the religion control, which was the Vatican, being dismantled. We have all the World Bank and the Federal Reserve with taxation, without representation, everything being dismantled right in front of your eyes. This operation is massive. It's worldwide. But it's so important to see it and to acknowledge that we have been a slave to these families. Demonic rituals of trafficking, sex trafficking, you name it. Children drinking the blood. It's all coming out. God is restoring his earth. He's restoring his children. We are in a jubilee. 2025 is a jubilee every 50 years. And God says during that jubilee, I will restore my earth. There is no work to be done. All debt is forgiven. Slaves return to their masters. The enemy has lost, and he knows it. It's time to stand up and acknowledge what is going on and to use your voice to be the change. The best is yet to come. It's truly amazing once you see it. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. And I just pray, I pray that God gives every one of you wisdom and discernment to navigate the enemy as he literally falls and finally is being crushed. God bless. I love you all. Amen.
Nice. I mean, I really hope that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's too many things. I mean, you still be on my page, on my Facebook page, and then there's just a picture of like 12 different leaders that they're gone. They're no longer on the playboard anymore. Right there. These people are not on the playboard anymore, and you got what, 2 more down the corners. You got the King of England and George Soros. But those other ones.
But
so
I mean, the monarchy is never going away. So I don't think that that's kind of a big.
Well, the monarch. Are you talking about the king and the queen and all that?
Yeah. I mean, that's an institute. They're going to be there forever. You know?
No.
Okay. So then, what's the difference between King Charles and then his son? When he becomes king?
Well, for one, once the information comes out and everybody realizes that the bloodline that they have right now, it's all corrupted. They're not really the monarchy. The King Charles, his son, they're not the real monarchy in line with the way it should be through history. It's been corrupted as well.
Okay, well, dating back to what? Because when you do look at the history and the family tree, they've all either intermingled or, got married within one another. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's been since the beginning of time. So
So I got a feeling what people are going to see. And again, this is a broader, we'd have to get more information out. We'd have to do some research and make a segment about this. We have a lot of that we need to do. It's just we get so busy. You're busy. I'm busy. It takes some time. But anyway, but that's a whole nother thing. And I do not think we will see the monarchy the way it's been ran all these. I think it's going to disappear.
Really?
I do.
All right. So then that's a bet. You say that you do. I say no. I think they're going to be there forever. You know what? I actually think that if times get so bad that regular governments will fall, but the monarchy never will fall, and we might go back to king and queens.
I could see that. I could see a new situation to where we do go back to king and queens.
I used to think about that because I was like, this is just so bad that even if there were ever another civil war and people reject the Constitution, they reject the three branches of government or whatever, and it could be maybe 200 years from now. You know what I'm saying? We probably might not even be alive. But what if they go back to king and queens, but like an American king, like the American way, not Europe way, but an American
King.
family, like a king.
There's some information I'll have to share with you off the air that I've looked into that would kind of fall along with it. I'm gonna have to have
when you say that.
I'm gonna have to have a. I'm gonna because I know some things, but I don't want to put it out publicly because people already think I'm off the wall anyway. But my track record's been pretty good. But I want to prepare you for that before we talk about it.
Okay. Jane says no king and queen. Steen one says, I have one for you, Jimmy. The rightful lineage to King of England is a bloke in Australia. Tudors and Plantagenets?
Yeah, there's been a lot of question about the rightful. That's the word I was looking for. So thank you so much. The lineage, the rightful lineage of the monarchy we see now. They don't have it.
Right, but okay, you see, I had a royal phase. Okay, so this is what bothers me. I watched a lot of royalist channels. I used to be so obsessed with the king and queen, right? And even back in the day, they have killed each other over the monarchy. They have either, usurped it or assassinated or got married in the family so that they could take over. Like their kids could become the next king or queen. Even Elizabeth wasn't even supposed to be queen, but she became one because her uncle abdicated the throne, right?
Right.
So what does it really mean not to be rightful or not rightful if it's always been like that since the beginning? They've been killing each other over that throne.
Well, there was a time to where the lineage was legit.
Okay.
It just got corrupted.
How?
And
like what do you mean by corrupted in that sense?
to be fair to the viewers and everything, I will have to go back. Let me make a note of this.
Okay.
Show how, and I'll have to, because I just don't want to speak off the cuff. I want to bring you information that I've found.
Yes.
Yeah, show how the monarchy was corrupted.
Yes. Michelle Price in the comments, she says, corrupted by the Khazarian mafia. I hear that a lot. I need to know what that is. Khazarian mafia.
I already told you who the Khazarian mafia was.
You've mentioned it, but I don't actually know who or what they are.
Okay, so I love our show. It's just on the fly. It's on the fly. Do a quick X search on who is the Khazarian mafia video.
Okay.
And see what comes up.
Khazarian mafia. Okay, let's see. Hidden history of the incredibly evil Khazarian mafia. Okay, it's a TikTok video. You want to watch it?
Sure. Let's see what they got to say.
Okay.
See, the narrative in the media is Russia is at war against Ukraine. But get out a map. You can use Hungary as a reference point. See that area right there? That's modern day Ukraine. See that name right there? Gordon Duff has asked President Putin to release Russian intel, which will expose about 300 traitors in Congress for their serious serial felonies and statutory espionage on behalf against America and many Middle East nations.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Right there says it all. If you wonder why
Oh,
Russia's
wait. We got to read that quote. Nathan Rothschild, he says, I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the what? The empire on which the sun, damn, the lighting is horrible. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply.
Right there
Yo,
says
that's
it all.
crazy.
Yeah. That's
If you
I
wonder
think
why
I've heard that
Russia's got
before.
skin in the game, besides them being directly on their border.
Oh, wow. I've heard of this though.
hmm But I don't think this answered your question on
Hopefully they leave this video.
who the Khazarians are.
Okay, yeah, because he's just showing a place, a map,
Yeah. So
but I don't know who they are. Okay.
maybe do a quick search on YouTube, because I think they do have like 4 or 5 minute videos that are historical and give like historical pictures and things like that. But that's why this Ukraine thing is a big deal, because that area, that's where Khazaria is. That's ancient Khazar. Yeah. So when the digital soldiers say that Ukraine has been the deep state's playground, that's what we mean. Because the Khazarian mafia, the Khazarians, the fake Jews, that's where they come from.
Okay. So there's another short on YouTube, The Hidden History.
Let's do
They
it.
all have like the same title.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Of the
Let's see what it says.
Khazarian Mafia. 100, 800 AD. An incredible evil society emerges in Khazaria. Khazarians develop into a nation ruled by an evil king who had ancient Babylonian black arts and occult oligarchs serving as his court. During this time, Khazarians became known to surrounding countries as thieves, murderers, and road bandits.
Hold it for a second, Ruby.
Knowing the identities of those travelers, they murdered as a normal occupational practice and way of life. 800 AD. The ultimatum is delivered by Russia and other surrounding nations. The leaders of the surrounding nations, especially Russia, have had so many years of complaints from their citizens that, as a group, they deliver an ultimatum to the Khazarian king. They send a communique to the Khazarian king that he must choose one of the 3 Abrahamic religions for his people, make it his official state religion, and require all Khazarian citizens to practice it and socialize all Khazarians. The hidden history of the incredibly evil.
Okay, go back to that video and listen to the very beginning of where he said the roots were. That's very important. I don't think many people caught that.
2D Babylonian. He said.
Yeah.
You want me to play it again?
Yeah, play it again.
Incredibly evil Khazarian Mafia. 100, 800 AD. An incredibly evil society emerges in Khazaria. Khazarians develop into a nation ruled by an evil king who had ancient Babylonian black arts.
There you go.
Okay, 100 to 800 AD, an evil king who had ancient Babylonian black arts. So that's crazy. What the heck?
Right. And so what happened was, when those other nations gave them an ultimatum on picking which 3 Abrahamic religions they would adhere to, they chose Judaism. That's how they became the fake Jews. And those are the ones. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So that's why we call them the fake Jews, because they chose the Judaism, but they didn't practice it. They practiced their ancient Babylonian black arts and have till today.
But what do you mean by they chose?
That's
What do
what
you mean?
they decided. They made the decision. Yeah, we'll accept that, and we're going to choose Judaism.
Yeah, but you can't just choose a religion and then just be a.
Well, they infiltrated it. They infiltrated it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like this.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
that's and so when we say, the Khazarian mafia, or we say, demonic things that they
Mm.
do. This is why. Okay, so who runs Hollywood? Okay, everybody knows who runs Hollywood. Look
Right.
at all this symbolism and the black
Yes.
art that you see there.
Right. Right.
So these people, these fake Jews, are still doing the things they were doing centuries ago. But the thing is now they're being exposed. And that's why this thing in Ukraine is a really big deal. That's why, they had 33 biological labs there. They've all been shut down now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, it's deep. But it's important for people to know this stuff because it lays the groundwork to being able to learn, true history.
Right. Okay. Michelle Price in the chat, she says there's a documentary on them. I couldn't watch it. It had a warning label on it. Send me the title of that documentary, Michelle, if you can. Email me. My email should be in the the bio. I think my email should be there because I need to educate myself on this because I've heard it many times and I'm like, yo, what the heck is that? So I'm gonna have to really educate myself on that.
Yeah, it's a huge part to understanding things that are happening today. Because we've always had Mr. M come in and say, "Oh, there's nothing new under the sun." Okay,
Yeah.
he's not wrong.
No, I know, and that's why I appreciate him. But
He's not wrong. He's not wrong on this particular issue.
Right, right.
But because there's still practice, the deep state's playbook doesn't change. It's worked so well for so long that they didn't think they had to make any changes. But the thing is they've done it so much now that the forces that are fighting against it can, anticipate what moves they're going to make and then put up countermeasures to block their moves. And that we've seen a lot of that during the COVID years.
Okay. So that was one of the comments. Somebody said that the Jesuits were kind of like the pushback on the reformers, just like the CIA is an organization that pushes back on something. Somebody, I can't see if I can find that comment, but somebody said that in the chat, and I understood what they meant by that. And then now somebody just commented, "Remember the Crusades." So you see, there's a lot of history that has to do with all of this. And the problem with my brain is that I know about 5 different things, and I think they're all separate. And it's actually that they're all connected. And that's what's wrong with me because I'm like, oh, I know about that and that and that and that, but I never connected that they were also what? Like,
yeah,
how?
and yeah, I've seen the memes. You've seen the memes where it says when a conspiracy theorist tries to explain this, and it has a guy up against the board, and it's got all these arrows and everything. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. You've got to untangle the web of deception to figure out what's been going on.
You know what you should do, Jimmy? You should do a beginner's course, and you should have
God.
a documentary.
I don't even know where to start.
Chapter 1. Let's unravel all of the lies you've been told, and watch all these documentaries. And when you're done with that, come back to me for more when you're ready.
You know what, Ruby? This is one thing I'm thankful for in the insurance business because during COVID years, 2020, 21, and 22, businesses were shut down. I couldn't go and write business, and everything was online, right? But I had residual income that I was still getting paid. So I really didn't have to go out and worry about too much production. I mean, those 3 years were my lowest years in production ever since I've been with Aflac. But what the renewals gave me was money to pay my bills. And then I had all this time
Yes.
to do research. I was doing at least 8 to 12 hours of research a day.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and other folks don't have that luxury to be able to do that. So that's one of the reasons why I decided, oh man, I need to go public with this stuff that I'm learning to help other people, because I know they ain't got time to go do all this digging.
Right.
So that's why that's why I do what I do.
Right. But imagine if you had a structured course.
Oh my God.
Where you can have like a phase 1 beginners, watch this. Like you did with me. You said, watch the greatest show on earth, or watch this, or watch that. I think we could create
we kind of did it with the big picture episodes. Because
exactly. I like that.
We did 18 episodes of the big picture. And if you literally watch the big picture episodes, starting with episode 1 and watch all the way through 18, there's a lot of information in those videos.
Yeah, you need a linked tree so that all your links can be in one place, and then you can send it and be like, okay, what? Just click on something here, Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, where all your videos are at.
Yeah, I mean, they were really good. I mean, and YouTube, they took down, I think, 4 of them. Yeah, YouTube took down 4 of the big picture. So I had to move them all over to BitChute. That's where it's at right now.
Yeah, exactly. Good. I'm glad you did that, because you need to keep that forever. You need to keep that forever. Like, file it and be like.
Yeah, I tried to start with just basically saying, okay, what is the deep state? What's their goals? Things like that. And then we tried to build it just to teach folks, kind of give them a crash course on everything that's been going on.
And that's Joseph said in the comments how college courses in history would help. And I agree to a certain extent, because that's exactly the only reason why I would probably do a course. But now that I know about the deep state with the colleges, I probably wouldn't, just because I have to pay for that. And I would never give a dime to indoctrination camps. But if we did it our own, it'll be for free. And it'll be waking up people out of the matrix system, because they're going to put history the way they want you to learn it. And I don't want to learn it that way. I want to learn it out the box way.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about that too. Yeah. I feel that same way.
Okay, so I do want to go to the clips that I kind of had in my bookmarks that I've been missing. So this one was specifically about Will Smith. And I know that you probably know about the theories surrounding Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
And that stunt that he pulled with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
That was an awakening moment. And this was way before I started speaking to you about stuff like this on the internet, like maybe 2-3 years ago. And when I saw that slap happen right there and then, I knew for a fact that this was staged. It was fake. There was no convincing. I was like, if you believe that slap was real, you're low IQ. It's just totally low IQ. Because you would believe anything if you saw it on TV, or if you read about it, like, oh, what? He slapped him. What the heck? So no, that's when I finally realized that I'm living in a fake world, that this is all fake.
Yeah, and I can't remember what news was breaking, what was being disclosed at that time. But
I remember that too.
There was something that happened, and this slap overtook it in the news.
And I remember feeling that way.
Yeah.
I felt like this is just a distraction. But you see how we can't even remember what the real news was? Because that's how big of a distraction it was.
Correct.
That's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. So anyways, this podcast happened, I don't even know when, recently, I'm not sure. But this was posted on X on April 6th, and the comment says, Hollywood actor and comedian Corey Holcomb claims that Will Smith is part of a secret Hollywood occult society that is filled with closeted homosexuals.
Mhm. Yeah.
Holcomb suggests that celebrities like Smith belong to this group in secret and will do anything to keep their identities hidden. Holcomb claims that the lifestyle is a tightly kept secret in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And you believe that, Jimmy, right?
100%.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say that is not true. I'm just going to say that I've never seen it in my generation. You know, like I'm only 28. I haven't seen something like that would
And-
suggest something like that.
And this goes back to even the actors in the 30s and the 40s, because there's a lot of guys back then that were leaning towards a certain persuasion and they didn't want the public to know about it. There was a lot of homosexuals in Hollywood, the guys
Right,
that
right.
they didn't want people to find out about, but we have learned since then.
Okay.
So this has been something that's been going on since the inception of Hollywood.
Okay. You know, that's the only thing that I would have to agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's true. It's either been proven, or like with the Hoover guy, right? Was it the Hoover guy that he was a closeted, you know, cross-dresser or something like that?
Oh, I can't remember if he was. I don't
I
want to
think
say.
you mentioned it before. Yeah, that he
I
was
don't. I
closeted.
don't want to say for certain, but that sounds familiar.
If anybody remembers, let me know in the chat. So, anyways, I'm gonna just play this clip, and you guys can hear it for yourself.
Now, there are celebrities who have accepted the poly and non-monogamous relationships. Some we know, Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship.
But Will like guys.
Huh?
Will like guys.
How you know?
I live in LA. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of opportunities I don't get because the guys don't want me to see them with their boyfriends. And I've suffered from that. It's like everybody know anyway. Everybody know anyway. So I'm saying, like, do you think me saying Will like guys? Because I said it and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because I believe it. I know it for the most part.
Okay.
By me saying that, I hope it doesn't strike a nerve in anybody. But I'm saying I live in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lifestyle that is kept quiet.
A secret society.
Yeah. And it's like people like me suffer from this lifestyle because of the shame that some guys have of how they like to move. And I don't think that however you move is something you should hold against me. I think it's unfair.
So when I see something like that, right? If Jada and Will didn't have that viral moment about their open relationship, I would have been like, hell no, that's not true. You know, like I would have totally denied that. But because of the bombshell drama that family had a couple years ago, after her round table talk, and her freaking lover was like the same age as her son, and it just became such a viral thing, right?
Right.
That's what gave me the turn off. Like, what? They're trying to normalize an open marriage, trying to normalize the age of her lover as the same age as her. It was just disgusting, right?
Right.
So then this guy says something about Will Smith. Aside from the conspiracy theories about these people, I would say, you know what? I wouldn't even doubt it. I wouldn't even doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
And they get blackballed because they're not of the scene.
Correct.
But now that makes me think about everybody else in Hollywood that has either been accused or they have just come out. They don't care. You know, they don't have any that shame that he's talking about. They don't really care. And they still normalize it. Like, that's okay. Like, what you mean secret societies, homosexuality, you know, Hollywood and the levels of Hollywood. The whole Weinstein the thing that went down a couple years ago. If you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That blew me. It really did blow me because I was like, nah, chill. This is just.
Wait till you start hearing information on the Diddy trial.
But I believe that though. I believe that because his demeanor, even before all this,
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I think it's like a female, like internal thing. Like, you know, when
Right.
a man is dangerous or not. Like, you could feel it, right? I never think though, or any of those people are good people. Like off the back, I don't care if you're famous or not. I could already see it in the way you walk, the way you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like thuggery that I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cool to me. I don't think it's sexy. Like, no, those are dangerous people. They're not who you think they are. And that's why I believe when you say these things.
Yeah, that's why I've tried to tell folks during this whole digital soldier thing and awakening, you know, don't put too much clout into your Hollywood heroes and your Hollywood stars, because there's some people out there that would blow your mind at how evil they are.
Right.
Tom Hanks, horrible man.
I know.
Evil man. And I know probably in the comments somebody's gonna be like, Tom Hanks is a great guy. You know, okay, no, he wasn't.
No, but that really hurt my childhood because he was Andy, you know, in Toy Story. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Like,
But
that hurt.
But one of the things that I started and see, and I did so before I even went down rabbit holes, let's go back to late 2010. This stuff isn't even on my radar. But I'm looking back and I'm thinking, wow, Will Smith got famous really quick. He's in freaking everything. Tom Hanks got really famous. You know, he worked through but he's in every freaking movie. And then the one that got me the most was the rise of Kevin Hart. Because it was like he came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden he's in every freaking movie. And if you know anything about Hollywood and the way that they promise their stars, hey, we will give you everything you want in life if you sell your soul. If you will do our bidding, we'll put you in every movie.
Okay, so you're saying that he most likely did that, and that's what got him his fame.
Correct, 100%.
Okay, so then what would you contribute to pure talent?
Like, when's the last time we've actually seen pure talent?
I mean, in my opinion, it was Justin Bieber when he was found on the streets of Canada, you know, playing music, and he became famous.
Okay, so you have I saw something the other day, and it talked about music. And it was saying these big stars and everything, you know, they got their auto tune, they're being paid money. Okay, we got them. He said, if you want to hear the best music with more talent, go to these lower venues, these smaller venues. Go to dive bars, go to country bar if you're in the country music. Go out to where mainstream isn't. And then you will be able to find decent talent. And so there is talent out there. I mean, there's some comedians. I'll go through my shorts on the reels, and there'll be some comedians, and they have me dying, and I don't even know who they are.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but that's not fame. So who would you credit to pure talent that became famous that didn't sell their soul if the fame, in your opinion, is only because they sold their soul?
There are some in Hollywood that chose not to go that route.
Cat Williams.
All right.
Cat Williams.
Okay, good example. I agree.
There's another one. God, he's an old guy. Oh God, I see his face. Oh Lord, what's his name? James Woods.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know who that is.
James Woods. I mean, there have been talented people that didn't sell their soul.
Oh, Jimmy, I was gonna mention this. What Thrifty said that she says it's being revealed with Diddy too. Terrence Howard had a lot to say about Diddy trying to take his man card. Did
Yeah.
you see that interview or that
Yeah,
clip?
Terrence Howard. He's a very interesting dude, and he's got history he's got history
Yup.
with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah.
Welcome to the stage, Jesus Heart and Joseph.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Jimmy, I still owe you $20. Sorry.
It's
40
man.
now.
I'm telling you what. I'm going to have to start tariffing you. So I'm thinking 100% tariff starting on May 1. So it's going to go up $40 every month. Better make a deal.
Jimmy, I'm going to call you the ounce.
You're going to call me the ounce?
Because the ounce of gold is going up.
Yeah.
I forgot to show you this. Sorry, Jesse. Just one minute. I forgot to show you guys this. I like to collect quarters and stuff, right? So one of my friends that we have here up the block, she said, "Oh, your kids told me you like to collect quarters," and she wanted to show me this. Look at that.
Is it a true Kennedy silver? Put it sideways.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
That's cool.
What year is it?
2023.
2023. Now let me look sideways. Look at it sideways. See if there's any copper. No, sideways, like this. Like the flat earth. Is there any copper?
I mean, how can you tell?
You could tell the discoloration in the middle. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is. It is.
Okay. So it's not a solid silver coin. It could be a percentage. It could be a percentage. Yes.
And how would you know the percentage? Does it say?
Well, look it up on the look it up online and get the year in the description. But like some are 40%, like some of the Eisenhower dollars are 40%. Those are the last ones.
This is a $50 with JFK on it. Can you believe it? I've never had a coin with JFK. I'm like so obsessed with coins.
Go to your gold and silver dealer and get yourself a 1964 Kennedy quarter.
Really?
Yeah. I got a bunch of them.
My grandma got me into coin collecting. She got me a book, right? And it looks like this. Well, I mean, I rebought the books, but I got one for state quarters.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
And then I got one for national parks. This is my favorite one.
Oh, that's cool.
That is a neat one.
That's
cool. I know.
Cool.
And I've been collecting coins. So if anybody has these missing coins that I need, I will give you my mailing address. And I need you to mail me some coins.
Do you have any 1976 bicentennial quarters?
I don't know. How would I know?
The bicentennial.
I got $30 worth of them.
You got $30 worth of.
You're gonna have to send me one, Jimmy. I'm gonna text you my mailing address. I need one.
You gotta send me one, Jimmy. Now, do you know of all the silver coins? Like we have the American Liberty. Mexico has the Libertad, Mexican Liberty. And it always trades about $2 or $3 higher than all the silver coins all over the planet. China, Canada. And the beautiful thing about American Liberty, in contrast with Mexican Liberty versus, you know what it is?
What?
American Liberty has a beautiful gown, a flowing gown, American Liberty. But Mexican Liberty is topless. She's hot. But no, this is in real life. Yeah.
Do you have one, Jesse?
Yeah, I got tons of them. I got them stashed
You need to
around.
mail me one. No, I'm gonna text you my mailing address to everybody. I want coins by next week.
Jimmy, you send her the bicentennial, and I'll send in a Mexican Libertad.
All right.
Yeah, I have a PO box, so I don't mind giving my address to people.
Not if there's coins involved.
Nah, chill. You can send it.
Hey, can I throw in my conspiracy? You guys had a couple of hours of great conspiracies.
Yep.
But since we're Jehovah's Witness, would you indulge me a few minutes in my Jehovah's Witness conspiracy?
Here we go. Get ready. Everybody already knows your reputation.
Okay. I'm so sorry, but I got to throw this out to you. And it hit me last night. Me and Gilbert have been doing shows on Easter the last couple nights. And because me and Gilbert love Easter. And we love all the Christian traditions now that we didn't have when we were kids. And they always shove the pagan origins of Easter down our throat. Remember that? all our lives. There's no bunny rabbit. The word Easter comes from pagan origins and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But yet last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Joseph R. Biden did the most pagan thing. He turned Easter celebration into National Trans Day celebrations.
Right.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
Watchtower and JW.org didn't write a goddamn thing.
Of course they
Here's my
didn't.
French. They criticize every Christian on the planet over every pagan origin of Easter. And when Joseph Biden rapes Easter, they didn't write one little thing, which leads me to my conspiracy. Are they in on it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Watchtower has to be in on it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was my conspiracy.
Oh,
If I'm wrong, let me know.
speaking of the pagan thing, this is what my wife was at work today, and someone asked her about Easter, and they actually said, "Well, you know, Easter's pagan, right?" And my wife's like, "Yeah, I know all that," and so they had a conversation. But I was like, "Baby, did you know this? The name of Easter comes from Ishtar, which is the goddess of fertility, right?"
Correct.
Okay. Then you have, so what's the goddess of fertility all about? Having babies, right?
Yeah. She was the wife of Yahweh.
Okay. So all about having babies and procreating, correct? Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens 9 months later? Now we're still in the pagan world. What happens 9 months later after April? What do you have?
Mother's Day.
Springtime?
No, 9 months, y'all.
9 months.
Oh, sorry,
April.
9 months.
Okay, April, May, June, July, August,
You know I'm a little retarded, right?
November, December.
December, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What celebration happens in December?
Jesus
birth
Christ's
of Christ.
birth. Yeah.
No, not technically. Let's go pagan world.
Pagan world.
The
Christmas?
worship of the sun god.
Oh.
Ah,
Winter solstice.
Okay. The winter solstice. And what do they do in worship of the sun god?
I don't know.
They're married?
Sacrifice babies.
Oh my gosh.
So you have Ishtar at Easter promoting people get pregnant. And then by the time December rolls around, those babies are born and then sacrificed to the sun god.
Hey, that's beautiful, but let me throw you a curve because I'm Mexican and I speak Spanish, and Spanish is my first language. So it derives from the Latin. So us Mexicans, we always have a different view of things because of our language is so close to Latin. And in Latin, we don't have Easter. We don't have Ishtar. We have Pascua, which does have biblical connotations and not pagan connotations. So in the Latin world, it would be like Orthodox with Ruby. There is no Easter. We don't have Easter in the Latin language. We have Pascua or the Passover.
Yes, Pascha.
Yes. Okay. That's true.
Yeah.
It's in English. It's you English guys that are pagan, not us. Not us. We're illegals and wetbacks, but we ain't pagans.
Jesus.
Jimmy, really quickly, not to change the subject, but I got an email recently from Marianne. She said if we can kindly do a shout out for Jim and Eva. Do you know who they are? They're Extra W YouTubers.
See, I do not. She sent me the same text today, and I apologize, Marianne. You're probably watching. I didn't respond yet, but I don't even know who they are.
Me neither, but I just wanted to acknowledge that I did read the email and I wanted to like mention them. I think they were a channel called Belly Full of Words, and that they were Gilead graduates and they had a YouTube channel. So if anybody knows of them, I think they left the internet. I don't think they're making videos anymore.
Yeah, from what I understand, and if I'm correct, they were being attacked.
Right.
And they just said, you know what, screw this, we're going to shut this down.
Right. So unfortunately,
yeah, that's the gist of what I got of that.
Who was attacking them?
allegedly watchtower, but I don't know how true that is.
Wow.
Excuse me. I mean, even if that were true, why not put it out there? You know what I'm saying? The receipts, the threats, and let us know what's going on instead of just leaving. But it is what it is. I don't know them, so you know what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
So just wanted to mention that really quickly. And then welcome to the stage, Gigi. I know he probably got excited when I was talking about coins because he sent me an email too about some coins.
Oh, that was a while back. No, that's because I guess Shaq was mentioning it because I had to educate Shaq. See, silver is trading at when I sent you that 101. Right now it's at 104. So basically, it's just real simple. When George Washington and the fellas were around, they had a $20 gold coin, but they also had a $1 silver coin. So you would go and get 20 silver coins, and then the bank would give you one gold coin. Simple, right? Simple math. So right now, you need 100 silver coins to get one gold coin. So this is very rare when this happens, and this is where rich people get rich, because what rich people do is they get their gold coin and they load up with silver. I'll give you one gold coin. You give me 100, and then 6 months from now, a year from now, 2, 3, 4 years from now, when things get back to normal, they trade in their silver for gold when it gets at say 40 to 1, 50 to 1, and so now they have twice or 3 times as much gold. They do the exact opposite.
Right.
So we're sitting in a moment in time where everything is just not right. All of the numbers, the debt clock, the silver charts, the gold, everything doesn't make sense. And so I think everyone we don't know what's going to happen, but we know that something is just not right.
Remember before that I have said that we are running 2 parallel economies right now?
Mm-hmm.
This is part of that because we are going back to the gold standard. We are going back to sound money, not just here in the United States, but worldwide. That's why you see the discrepancies in the debt clock right now. That's why you see, silver trading the way it is and gold, because it's being fixed. It's being changed. We're being taken off of the globalist deep state Federal Reserve system.
Yeah.
However, it has to be done very delicately and very strategically, because if you don't do it strategically and you just drop one economy and pick up the other, it's going to cause freaking chaos.
Yes, I agree. Listen, I've been in business for 30 years. I've been in business for 30 years. Since I was a young man, I've been in business. Gilbert used to work with me. He helped me straighten out my business when I was floundering when we were kids. And I've been through the 9/11. I've been through the 1990s recession, when Bush came in, when Clinton left, the 9/11. We had like about 45 employees. We went down to about 2 or 3. So we've been through everything. We built our building. We lost our building. We bought it back a couple of years ago. So businessmen in America, we have good days and we have bad days. It's like being in Las Vegas. But you always put away your little money and your little eggs for a rainy day, and you're able to survive the storm. I was looking at the news in China, at the news from China, and a lot of businessmen are destroying over there.
Mm-hmm.
But in America, we've always had recessions. We've always had high and lows, and that's why you save up. You put money in your trucks. You put money in your building. You put money in the bank. You put money in the employees. You put money different ways. So if something crashes, you go to something else. If construction crashes, you go to service. If service crashes, you go to construction. But I see how volatile China is. They're almost suicidal, and this is just one time. They've been roaring for 20 years. They don't know how to take a hit.
Yeah, it's all, and there's a reason for that happening right now.
Hey, now Ruby, the reason I called it, I want to change the subject because in the news, you guys were talking about Bukele, and so what you guys don't know about Bukele, because you're not listening to it in Spanish, right? when he's speaking. So basically, he's talking to the press and a whole bunch of ministers from different countries, and he tells everybody, listen, in Mexico, you have the cartels that control Sonora, Baja, and you have the other cartel that controls this and that. But he goes, why is it you never hear that a cartel controls South Dakota?
Mm-hmm.
The reason it doesn't control South Dakota, he goes, because they don't let it happen. And so they were talking, and so the ministers looked at him and says, it's because the government allows it to happen. So when Bukele is trying to tell President Trump is that they are a perfect example of when a government wants to get rid of crime, if they really wanted to, they have all the power to get rid of crime.
Correct.
The only reason you have crime on the street is because the people in your government are the criminals.
Correct.
And so what he tried to tell everybody is that we were the worst country in the world, the most dangerous, and now we are the safest. And the reason El Salvador is the safest country, according to Bukele, is because you are now governed by a group of men and women who want to do what is right, who want law and order. Yep. And so the reason America, he's telling Trump, and he's talked about this in Spanish, in his Spanish channel, and with Tucker Carlson, is because our government is filled with dens of thieves, and Donald Trump knows it. So when you see these problems, El Salvador is a good, like a mirror to say, why do we have these problems? Well, because they're in on it. And we're actually, and so that's the example of Bukele, and that's why it's so important. His visit to the United States, it really is a teachable moment.
Yep, agree.
Great points brought up tonight. So unfortunately, I do have to wrap it up at 12. So like maybe 15 more minutes for everybody. But I do want to play a clip because every single week I forget to bring up my funny clips. So this was a guy who was explaining on TikTok, I think it was, but you know how it makes it over to X. He is explaining World War I in 3 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
In the most hilarious way possible. So enjoy.
Oh, but you don't understand how fucking quickly World War I started. They didn't teach you the snowball effect. Essentially, this fucking Serbian terrorist named Gavrilo Princip goes over to Austria-Hungary, kills the fucking Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So, rightfully, what does Austria do? They say to Serbia, they say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come into Serbia. We're going to send our military. We're going to send our police. We're going to investigate this whole thing. We're going to arrest whoever the fuck we want. We're coming. And Serbia said, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't fucking send your military over here. It was a terrorist. We didn't send that guy. He wasn't an informant for the fucking government. He was a fucking loon. And Serbia said, so then Austria said, I don't give a fuck. I declare war on you, Serbia. And Serbia said, oh, well, guess what? I got a big friend up north, a big bear. Hey, Russia. Austria just declared war on me. And Russia was all like, they did what? That's it. Fuck you, Austria. And Austria saw Russia join. So what does Austria do? Austria gets on the phone, calls up Germany. He says, hey, yo, Germany, fucking Russia wants in on this fight, homie. And Germany's like, are you telling me that cousin Nicky wants in on this fight? Count me in. I'll kick his fucking ass. So cousin Wilhelm declares war on cousin Nicky, right? Germany declares war on Russia. So what does Russia do? Russia calls on his big bad buddy, France. So France is all like, oh my God, we're going to war with Germany? Oh, shit. Hey, England, do you want in on this? And England was like, hey, homie, I was already in on this. As soon as Germany stepped foot in Belgium, I was in from an old-ass treaty, the Treaty of London. So everyone's getting ready for fucking war. All these other little countries are like, what the fuck is about to happen to me? Meanwhile, America's over there chilling like, wow, they're really fighting over there. I should probably start arming myself so I could join in the last 20 minutes of the fight and take all the credit. In 1 motherfucking week, 7 motherfucking days, Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Germany declares war on Russia and France. Britain declares war on Germany. And Austria-Hungary declares war on Russia. The whole fucking world starts to go crazy in 7 days. And fucking Belgium had these fortresses, these castles of old on the border. And they're like, don't worry, these castles are going to hold the line. And then the Germans roll up with fucking artillery. And the Belgians in these castles, they're looking over, they're like, what the fuck is that? Boom! Blown to smithereens. These castles had been standing for fucking hundreds of years, and then they're demolished in an instant. And the world is introduced to the new age of modern warfare. Gas, artillery, machine guns, tanks, flamethrowers.
Good God.
Yo, this is listen. This is how I want to learn history. Okay, I don't want no college. I don't want no course. I want to learn history from this guy.
But I disagree with him on one major point. When he
Okay,
gets
what?
to America, I was following him on Europe, and he was right, but not in America. He got it wrong. We were Jehovah's
right.
Witnesses, so we were involved in the fight. Remember with Brother Rutherford when he got thrown in jail for sedition?
Yeah.
We did not want to go. We were not arming up. Like he says at the end, about the last minute, he says America was going to arm up and want to get over there. And I remember the song. The song was, send the word over there that the Yanks are coming. But no, we did not want to go. We were fighting. We didn't want to have interventionism. We didn't want to enter into the League of Nations. It was Woodrow Wilson was hell-bent on getting us into that war. That's the only thing I disagree with him on.
Woodrow Wilson was America's first progressive, liberal, woke ideology, deep state president.
He got us over there. We did not want to go.
Started the League of Nations.
Was that
He's
Joseph?
one of the framers of the League of Nations.
Yes. Yeah. And we didn't want to join the League of Nations. The majority of Americans, we didn't even want to go to World War I because we were like George Washington. We believed in non-interventionism.
Right. I believe in that.
Remember that there was a U-boat that sunk the Lusitania, and 124 Americans went down on that ship. So that caused us to get into the World War.
Yeah, what Jimmy calls a black flag moment, or not a black flag, a red flag.
False flag.
False flag.
False flag.
Yeah.
Black flag.
I'm sorry, I forget.
There were. How many more clips did you have, Ruby?
Actually, that's it for me tonight because I have to hop off. It's
Okay.
5 minutes to midnight. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. Yes, thank you so much, Jesus Hart, for joining, Joseph, Gigi, and Jimmy. I mean, we usually do go longer, and I would have, but I have something to go do now. But if I didn't, I definitely would have stayed longer. You guys know.
Well, do well on your course.
Oh my God. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'm still studying for my exam. I haven't scheduled it yet. So as soon as I schedule it, I need at least a 70% to pass in the state of Florida. So I really hope that I pass it the first time because you got to pay for this stuff.
I don't know how to react that we're not going 4 hours.
I know, man. You probably still like have energy, still pumped up.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Got you used to the 4 hours. Sorry, Jimmy. But next Tuesday definitely we'll pick it up right back where we left off because I do definitely have a bunch of videos in the clip that are super offensive. So I don't have time to get offensive tonight, but definitely we'll do that. And yeah, I want everybody in the chat who got my email to definitely email me the documentaries. And I put my mailing address in the chat too. So please write that down and you can send me coins and send me stuff like that because I'm super obsessed with coins. So if you have a state or if you have a national park, definitely send it to me. And I'm going to check my books and email me too so I could tell you which coins I don't have. I just haven't had time to do my hobbies. You know, like I used to love collecting coins and I got so like wrapped up in everything else that we forget what's fun for us. You know what I'm saying? Like our hobbies, the things we like to do. So that was one of my things. So like one of my nerd things that I like to do. I like to collect coins.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And as soon as I get my license, I want my first sale to be at least somebody I know. Like, damn, come on. If anybody's looking for life insurance, as soon as I get my license, if you are in the state of Florida, please email me. I don't want to talk to strangers. I want to create like my little niche market where I don't have to be calling strangers.
I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna have to do that. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. But at least the first few, like, damn, this feels like the first day of school and you're like nervous, to make friends and stuff like that. Like, that's how I feel. And I hate that feeling.
One of the things that we were taught that I was taught in the beginning is when you're practicing your presentation or whatever, practice it on somebody that you know. And there's been a lot of incidents where people have done that, and then the aunt or uncle or cousin that they're like, "Oh wow, can I get this? You're giving an excellent present. Can I go ahead and get this?" And you're like, yeah, you can buy it. I'm just practicing though. Yeah, but what you're saying sounds great. Let's do this."
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants to practice with me, I need like an outside. I mean, I could practice with Tony. She's my cousin, but she's gonna be biased. You know what I'm saying? Because she's my family. I need somebody on the outside who's gonna really, tell me if I'm, some pointers or something. So we could do like a mock presentation. I'm excited, guys. Just email me. Let me know because I want to hop on with you guys and go on this journey together. Really quickly before I go, JG, I texted you to Google like Seffner, Florida post office. That's my post office. My box is 369, so you guys can send me whatever you want. It's just a mailing address. But the address that I
hold on a second, it's 369.
Yeah, my post box. Yeah.
Wow.
Why? What?
Look up Nikola Tesla in 369.
Here we go. Nikola.
Nikola.
Nikola Tesla 369.
Yeah.
369. Obsession and theories. Okay, let's see. Nikola Tesla was fascinated by the numbers 3, 6, and 9 and believed they held the key to the universe. Stop playing with me.
Dead serious.
Stop playing with me.
Dead serious.
No.
Learn about that. Learn about that.
Stop it. JG says, is Ruby part of the deep state? I knew this day was coming. I knew that this question would come up because we talk so much about it that now people are going to start doubting me as if I'm a plant or something. No, that was just a coincidence.
No, the 369, that's actually that's pretty good thing. It's a good thing, actually. Wow. What Nikola Tesla was teaching, yeah.
Really? That's my P.O. box.
Do the dive on that. Find some video.
Jimmy, how crazy is that? The stars are aligning.
I'm just full of knowledge here.
Right? Like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know half of the things or be able to connect half of it. Like, I would be so lost without somebody like Jimmy. Oh my gosh. Yep.
That's
okay,
funny.
So you guys have now you guys have my P.O. box. It's the Seffner, Florida post office. As soon as you Google that, it should pop up the address, and then you just put box 369. That's me. You could send me coins, send me letters, send me, whatever you want. That's my mailing address.
Speaking of numbers and everything, have you ever looked at the clock and it'd be like the same time every time you look at the clock?
I used to get those, like 444 and 222.
Yeah. I see 1221 all the time.
I see 420 all the time too.
Nice.
Which is hilarious. Yeah, I see 420 a lot.
And 1216 now. It's funny I see 1216 a lot now because that's our anniversary date, December 16th. But there's theories about why you see certain numbers all the time. So there's some more stuff on that too. So it's very interesting.
All right, guys. Okay, so we'll pick this up back from today. Jimmy has some notes. Some pins there. So hopefully we'll remember.
I get the time to do the research I need to do to cover those things.
Please do, because it's so interesting. And we really freeballed it tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been studying for days and I didn't know what I felt so bad because I was like, yo, Tony, Jimmy's gonna have to come in clutch because I have literally nothing. I don't know what to do, what to talk about, nothing.
Well, that's why I sent you those videos on our DM, because there's like four different videos I sent. There was a couple that I said this would be interesting to play tonight.
Right. And we didn't even get to that. So we could definitely have that material for next week too.
Yeah.
You see how everything works out? All right, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Have a good night. Have a good night, Jimmy. And I'll text you. You know, don't forget, you said you was gonna text me some stuff off live.
Oh yeah. Okay. I got you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Trump, yeah, okay, bury him a legend, yeah, Trump, hey, okay, America's biggest blessing, free speech advocate, packing, never lacking it, I just bought another gun and ain't nobody taking it, gang, okay, the White House going brazy now, MAGA season, tell them liberals they can't break us down, it's up, they know we run it, best believe it now, about to paint the city red, please don't burn it down, gang,